Chapter 661. Chen Shang sat on a stone bench in the valley. He was eating a kind of purple honey. The sweet taste of the honey made him start to eat. Yan Zilin took off a purple robe, and with a face full of hidden bitterness, "It's best if you just came to buy medicinal pellets from me." This was of course the biggest reason for Chen Shang to come here. He smiled and said, "I'm here to look for my fiancé. Is Yan Yao here?" Of course she's here, but she's cultivating in seclusion, so she's preparing to cross Nirvana Doom. "When are you going to return to mortal martial realm?" Yan Zilin asked. Chen Shang was slightly stunned. He remembered that he didn't tell Yan Zilin that he came from the mortal martial realm. "I don't think I've told you where I came from, right?" Chen Shang said. "No, but I can guess that we, the upper echelons of the forces, all know that Fan Yakan has gone to the mortal realm, and then, that your relationship with him was very good. Originally, I was only guessing, but when Yan Yao said that you would leave, and that you and your married couple were fake, I was sure." Yan Zilin smiled sweetly. "Don't worry, that's only my guess. Because you urgently need a large batch of ground-level pills, I think there should be very little in mortal realm." Chen Shang stuck out his tongue. "That's right now I can only forge Earth-grade low-rank Dan S, so I want upper or middle ground level S. I will be returning very soon." Yan Zilin smiled slightly. "Don't you think that Yan Yao didn't tell me that? When I told her, I wasn't afraid she would tell, and I believed her." Chen Shang spread his hands. "Zilan, how many high-rank ground-level pills do you have now?" Yan Zilin chuckled, and looked at Chen Shang with a teasing and coquettish gaze, then said leisurely, "I've been worried about you these past few days, and yet you're in such a hurry to talk about this upon meeting me. You really don't understand. You can return to the mortal realm, that's why you're not afraid of the chaotic mountain, right?" Chen Shang laughed. "Sister Zilan, you really care about me, a nobody in the mortal world. You have made me happy. HMPH, no matter what, we are now friends. You said that I'm no longer alone, so of course I care about you." Yan Zilin rolled his eyes at Chen Shang and snorted. Chen Shang sighed. "Zilan, it may be a long time before I return to the sacred Dan realm. So when you left, you were going to go all out?" Yan Zilin asked softly. His voice was filled with worry. Chen Shang nodded his head. "I want those 3 chaos fire, then I'll leave the sacred Dan realm. I can help you, make you return to the mortal realm without leaving a single regret, and help you snatch that chaos fire no matter what." Yan Zilin's eyes flashed with autumn waves as he looked at Chen Shang affectionately, making him feel as if he was suddenly struck by lightning. Chen Zhang's heart suddenly jumped. "Don't look at Yan Zilin's pitiful and beautiful eyes that could melt him," and shook his head. "No need, Sister Zilan, as a woman, with your status today, I cannot let your years of hard work go to waste." Yan Zilin scoffed. "Don't tell me you want to go there yourself. If you go, you might not be able to come back, but I can." Long Shui suddenly said, "I have a way to get help from the beautiful white tiger." "What method?" Chen Shang asked anxiously. "That white tiger beauty was born from the stars. That's another way of nurturing the descendants of the white tiger's special species." "I just remembered it," Long Shui said. "Those are white tiger races who have been wandering in the vast starry sky all year round. However, their cultivation method is very special, they just swallow and kill stars." "And then?" Chen Shang asked. "Therefore, they have a special kind of power. It's able to sense the stars and absorb their power. It's also able to summon a few stars to descend onto the ground for them to cultivate." Long Shui paused for a moment before continuing. "It's just that the white tiger I met outside earlier didn't seem to cultivate using this method, but she definitely understood how to make her summon a falling star and catch those strong warriors unprepared. Then, I'll join hands with you and snatch that chaos fire away." Chen Shang said. "Sister Zilan, let Bai Xing help me, she has a way." Yan Zilin shook her head. "No, although Bai Xing is very strong, I cannot let her be in danger. She is also my friend, I can help you. Bai Xing and Yun Zhu have been together with me for many years. They are like sisters, both of them have previous experiences of being abandoned and alienated by others. I don't want them to run away." Chen Shang said. "No need for her to appear there. I just need her to help me with a little thing. Sister Zilan, since you trust them so much, please call them over. We will discuss this together and don't worry. Trust me." Yan Zilin saw Chen Zhang's resolute and deep eyes, nodded, and then floated away. Very quickly, Yun Zhu and Bai Xing arrived. "Bai Xing greets Senior." Bai Xing bowed towards Chen Shang. causing Yan Zilan to let out a sweet snort as she pinched Chen Shang. I'm not some senior, Chen Shang anxiously said. Sister Zilan, how did she come to think of it? Yun Zhu and Bai Xing both treated Chen Shang as an expert, because there were very few men who could enter the Zilan mountain valley. Now that they saw Yan Zilan pinching Chen Shang like this, they could tell that the relationship between Yan Zilan and Chen Shang wasn't ordinary. It's just that they felt that Yan Zilan was this old man. Chen Shang anxiously took off his old clothes, revealing his handsome and angular face. Upon seeing his face, both Yun Zhu and Bai Xing were stunned. Chen Shang, Bai Xing shouted, her face slightly bulging, and thinking back to how she had called Chen Shang senior before, she was embarrassed and angry at the same time. I'm sorry, Chen Shang immediately apologized. I'm not angry with you, I'm furious with myself. What's more, how could I dare to be angry with you? Bai Xing bit her lips lightly, because Chen Shang was severely injured, and that was refined from the body of a white tiger divine beast. Yun Zhu and Yan Zilan were a little shocked, because they could see that Bai Xing truly did not dare to be angry with Chen Shang. Yan Zilan pinched the flesh on Chen Zhang's arm without letting it go. I already said, you're not allowed to soup my sisters. Sis, it's none of her business. Bai Xing hastily stopped him, her beautiful face full of self-blame as she looked at Chen Shang. Chen Shang hurriedly explained, Sister Zilan, I really didn't do it, and she was a little afraid of me because of this. Chen Shang anxiously revealed his slaughter god's hand. Upon seeing the pair of tiger gloves, Yan Zilan and Yun Zhu immediately understood, and were stunned. This was because Bai Xing often told them about the white tiger race, and they were naturally aware of the latter, especially Yan Zilan. She never expected that Chen Shang would actually possess such a divine weapon, an existence that surpassed holy ranked equipment. When Yun Zhu and Bai Xing saw that Yan Zilan was together with the person who placed the bounty on Chaotic Mountain, they could not help but panic in their hearts. They did not want Yan Zilan to offend such a powerful force like Chaotic Mountain. Chapter 662. Yun Zhu and Bai Xing understood Yan Zilan very well. Of course, they had absolute trust in Yan Zilan. Of course, they had been together with him for a very long time, and for the sake of the three of them having a good environment to cultivate in, Yan Zilan was willing to help them with the protection of the sacred dance school. They were women, and there were even two immortal beasts among them, both objects that many powerful immortals wished to conquer. It was not easy for them to have a safe environment right now, so they naturally did not want to be destroyed like this. After Yan Zilan told Yun Zhu and Bai Xing that he wanted to snatch the three chaos fire, the two girls were so scared that their faces turned pale. They were immortal beasts, and were both very strong, so if they went together with Yan Zilan, they might be able to win. Sisters, I won't let you take the risk to help me steal something. When Chen Shang saw the two girls' expressions, he said anxiously, I just need big sister Bai Xing to help me out with a little favor. When the time comes I will do it myself. Yan Zilan said seriously, you must promise me, you definitely won't let Bai Xing into a dangerous situation, if not I will definitely not let you go at that time. Yan Zilan nodded towards Yun Zhu and Bai Xing, and Yun Zhu also sat down. Yan Zilan was their big sister. The three girls had once supported each other with their lives. Their relationship towards each other was extremely good, and they could tell that Yan Zilan had some sort of kindness towards Chen Shang, so they would definitely help Yan Zilan as well. Chen Shang laughed. Sister Bai Xing, do they know about your situation? Bai Xing nodded his head, which surprised Yan Zilan and Yun Zhu. Bai Xing's background was the most mysterious, but Chen Shang knew about it. Chen Shang anxiously replied, it's not her that told me, it's just that I happened to read a book that described the matters when Big Sister Bai Xing was born. But Big Sister Bai Xing, you probably only know that you came out from a giant star and don't know why you came out of it, right? Bai Xing sighed lightly. I searched for a lot of information in Heaven Realm. After I came to Sacred Dan Realm, Big Sis also helped me search for it, but I didn't know about this matter. Chen Shang said, of course, you are the most mysterious and special clan in the White Tiger race, called the Starry Tiger Tribe. You cultivate by absorbing the power of the stars, and you can also roam the starry sky. Yun Zhu and Bai Xing now somewhat understood why Chen Shang had such a good relationship with him. Over the years, they had met many powerful experts with vast knowledge, but no one knew about these things. Cough cough, it was the boss of White Tiger race who told me this. Chen Shang laughed and continued, you probably have never tried to absorb the power of the stars before, right? Not only can you become stronger by absorbing the power of the stars, you can also use the special ability in your body to summon out the stars. The three girls were not stupid, they now understood why Chen Shang wanted Bai Xing to help him. Back then, when Bai Xing descended onto a continent in Heaven Realm, it was only with the help of many experts that he was able to stop the star. You only need to stay here to do it. Other than us, no one else will know that you did it. When you summon the stars, no one else will be able to sense it. Don't worry, Chen Shang said. This was an extremely powerful force. There were countless stars in the vast starry sky, and things like the moon and sun all belong to the stars. If it could be summoned down, then it would lead to the destruction of an entire world. Both Yan Zilan and Yun Ju's faces were filled with shock, and there was even a hint of excitement. This was because their sisters possessed such a terrifying ability that would allow them to better survive in this world where the strong preyed on the weak. What am I going to do? I don't know if I have that ability, and I haven't noticed it in years. Bai Xing tensed up and asked softly. Long Shui had already told Chen Shang how to awaken his abilities. This was extremely simple. This is because you didn't perform the awakening ceremony. After you awaken, you will receive the inherited memories. This is something that many high-level beasts have. When that time comes, you will know how to cultivate your star power and use your innate ability. Chen Shang laughed. Don't be nervous, this is a good thing for Sister Bai Xing. She already knew that Chen Shang wasn't an ordinary fellow, otherwise, she wouldn't have obtained their white tiger race's divine weapon. Now that she knew Chen Zhang's identity, she was even more certain that within this sacred Dan realm, there had never been anything that would cause Chaotic Mountain to suffer a big loss. Chen Shang had to admit that in order to guard against White Tiger race, Imperial Dragon race had done a lot of research and had a very good understanding of him. He even knew about this awakening ceremony. Back then, when Chen Shang fought with the White Tiger, it was only because Long Shui told him about the White Tiger's weakness that he was able to win. Long Shui knew all of this, but he needed the special power of the White Tiger race. This point was not difficult for Chen Shang as he had the White Tiger divine weapon, so he could make Bai Xing set up the array himself. Until nighttime when Chen Shang finished setting up the awakening array. Sister Bai Xing, just sit cross-legged in the middle, then close your eyes and let yourself sleep. This kind of ceremony should have been done when you were very young, so you wouldn't feel any pain. Chen Shang wiped his sweat and heaved a sigh of relief. This awakening formation was still a little complicated, but thankfully his foundation was not bad. Bai Xing was a little agitated, and immediately sat cross-legged inside the array. After that, she closed her eyes to ease herself up and entered into a deep slumber. The array very quickly emitted a faint golden radiance which enveloped Bai Xing's body. Bai Xing's delicate body slowly floated up, and floated above the array. Starlight shrouded her entire body, and her beautiful pitch-black hair fluttered in the wind. She's absorbing a lot of star power. She might be modifying her body. Chen Shang revealed a smile. It should be fine by morning, you don't have to worry. What exactly are you doing in the mortal realm? Many of the old people in Sacred Dan realm and the Heaven realm didn't even know about this kind of thing, yet a little kid like you actually knows about it. Yan Zilan heaved a sigh of relief, and smiled at Chen Shang. Chapter 663. Yan Zilan no longer had that kind of gentle and polite attitude towards Chen Shang. This was because she truly treated Chen Shang as a friend, which was why she had become casual about it. This is my secret. Chen Shang smiled mysteriously and continued, let's do the business first. Yan Zilan gave Chen Shang a storage ring and said, 200 Relive Dan, 305 Elements Profound Dan, 300,000 Profound Energy Quenching Body Dan, and 100,000 Face Preserving Pills. A total of 100 million would be 90 billion, and I'll give you half price of 415 billion. The corner of Chen Zhang's eyes twitched. If it was a dozen or so pills, he would indeed be alright, but when he heard the price, he was shocked. You're too kind, this kind of thing is sold in the Heaven realm, and you still have to flip through it. You know what it means in the mortal realm. Su Meiyao laughed tenderly. Now it all depends on your charisma, can you let this Sacred Dan realm's #1 beauty reduce it for you? If I sell it to you at such a low price, I would have to give some to the Sacred Dan school as well. You have helped me out, so this is nothing. Yan Zilan smiled sweetly, but his eyes looked extremely coquettish. If Chen Shang had enough spars, he would have definitely struck a deal right away, but now he could only plan on lowering the price. Seeing Chen Zhang's expression, Yan Zilan could not help but giggle. How many spar you have? Only 2 billion, Chen Shang sighed. Give it to me, I'll help you pay for the rest. Consider this my reward for you. Yan Zilin extended her hand, and smiled sweetly. Chen Shang felt that the desire he gave her was also very precious, so he didn't feel that it was wrong to ask for it now. He knew that this beauty who brought calamity upon this nation didn't even take these spar to heart. Yan Zilin looked at Yun Zhu at this time, and then said to Chen Shang, Bai Xing and I have received your help, obtained many benefits, you are truly a great benefactor. Yun Zhu is also a good sister to me, can you let her have some of your feelings as well? Although Chen Zhang's strength was weak when compared to hers, her entire body was filled with charm and mystery, making her really want to read and interpret this kind of man. At this moment, her face was slightly red, she looked at Chen Shang with anticipation, and a sweet and gentle smile hung on her face. Although Yun Zhu was a powerful immortal beast and fire wolf, the feeling she gave Chen Shang right now was that of a kind, gentle, and beautiful little sheep. She looked a little simple, and her pair of pure eyes were filled with an innocent light. Seeing Chen Zhang's thoughtful face, Yan Zilin pouted. Do you think that since Yun Zhu didn't help you, you'll? Yan Zilin shook Chen Zhang's hand as he pouted his lips. His eyes contained a hidden bitterness, and had a strong killing intent towards men, and seeing how the number one beauty in Sacred Dan realm was acting, Chen Zhang's heart jumped. Even Yun Zhu was secretly surprised. This was the first time she had seen her big sister act so coquettishly, and thinking that Yan Zilin was trying to win some benefits for her, Yun Zhu's heart suddenly felt warm. Chen Shang retracted his hand and forced a laugh. Sister Zilan, you're different from when I first saw you. You have the demeanor of the Sacred Dan realm's number one beauty. You are a powerful female immortal in the Zilan immortal fairy who is begging so earnestly for a mere mortal like me. Yun Zhu's appearance is not inferior to mine. Do you think that she is more pure and naive, and does not know how to approach men? Chen Shang now understood how deep the relationship between Yan Zilin and the other two sisters were. I will definitely come back to the Sacred Dan realm in the future. Of course, I'll flatter my three sisters, and when that time comes, I'll also have a solid shield behind me. I'm just considering whether or not I should give that thing to her. Chen Shang was never stingy with his connections, and the treasures in his hands and the heaven-defying methods, even immortals would not be able to compare to him. Hearing Chen Zhang's words, Yan Zilin smiled. That kind of coquettish and seductive attitude made Chen Shang moan in his heart, and he really wanted to jump over to strip this beauty of her clothes. I didn't expect you to have so many treasures. Why are you still considering it? What exactly is it? Yan Zilin asked with a sweet smile on his face. Yun Zhu said in a low voice at this moment, there's still no need, I didn't help you. I can't take something that's very valuable. Quote. Deep into the night, Bai Xing was still floating above the awakening formation. He was lying on his back with a calm and peaceful expression, as if he was enjoying something. But at this time, Chen Shang took out a corpse. It was the corpse of an old man. Outside it was cold ice, and on the ice there was a formation technique. It was a formation technique to prevent the energy from leaking. Corpses. Yan Zilin frowned slightly. Chen Shang laughed. This corpse could only be a corpse to many people, but I can make it very valuable. My GU family must have at least a few 100 billion spar. Even if there is one, I might not be able to buy it from you for the price. Yan Zilin had already gotten used to Chen Zhang's remarkable abilities. Back then, Chen Shang had stolen away the Jade Dragon Flower and killed Guo Watching, the powerful elder of the Chaotic Mountain, and then, stole 2 Chaos Fire S from a Chaotic Mountain ranker. What value? Yan Zilin looked carefully at the frozen body, but she could not see anything. Chen Shang chuckled. I don't know the name of this corpse either. He is a nirvana stage that wants to kill me. He should have transcended the 8th level of tribulation. Furthermore, he is an important elder of the Fire Divine Palace. Hearing the Fire Divine Palace, Yan Zilin and Yun Zhu's delicate bodies trembled. Chen Shang never thought that the evil name of the Fire Divine Palace would actually be so famous in the Sacred Dan realm. A power that specializes in extracting fire soul from the bodies of the mortal realm's people. It is extremely tyrannical in the heaven realm, and its overall strength is also very strong. I never thought that you would actually dare to provoke them. Speaking to here, Yan Zilin realized that what he said was nonsense. Chen Shang even dared to provoke the Chaotic Mountain. What else wouldn't he dare not do? This guy's fire soul is still in her body, and I have a way to extract it. I believe the two sisters should know the pain of fusing with the fire soul. I can let Sister Yun Zhu obtain it, but at that time, she will have to endure the pain of fusing with the fire soul. Chen Shang took a deep breath. So that's why I'm considering whether I should give this thing to her. Sister Yun Zhu cultivates flames. The fire soul is of great benefit to her. When Chen Shang was in the first profound realm, he killed several Fire Divine Palace elders who possessed Fire Soul. Since the Fire Divine Palace was able to extract the Fire Soul from the human body for others to absorb, it was not strange for Chen Shang to extract the Fire Soul from the body. What surprised Chen Shang was that Yun Zhu actually said bravely, "I'm not afraid, it's just that this corpse is more precious to you, you must be an alchemist. I have the Fire Soul, and it's also very strong. The Fire Soul inside this corpse should be a purple Fire Soul, so that's pretty good." Chen Shang faintly smiled at Yun Zhu. Chapter 664, C663. C663. Yan Zilan no longer had that kind of gentle and polite attitude towards Chen Shang. This was because she truly treated Chen Shang as a friend, which was why she had become casual about it. "This is my secret." Chen Shang smiled mysteriously and continued, "Let's do the business first." Yan Zilan gave Chen Shang a storage ring and said, 200 Relive Dan, 305 Elements Profound Dan, 300,000 Profound Energy Quenching Body Dan, and 100,000 Face Preserving Pills. A total of 100 million would be 90 billion, and I'll give you half price of 415 billion. The corner of Chen Zhang's eyes twitched. If it was a dozen or so pills, he would indeed be alright, but when he heard the price, he was shocked. "You're too kind, this kind of thing is sold in the heaven realm, and you still have to flip through it. You know what it means in the mortal realm." Su Meiyao laughed tenderly. "Now it all depends on your charisma, can you let this sacred Dan realm's #1 beauty reduce it for you? If I sell it to you at such a low price, I would have to give some to the sacred dance school as well. You have helped me out, so this is nothing." Yan Zilan smiled sweetly, but his eyes looked extremely coquettish. If Chen Shang had enough spars, he would have definitely struck a deal right away, but now he could only plan on lowering the price. Seeing Chen Zhang's expression, Yan Zilan could not help but giggle. "How many spar you have?" "Only 2 billion, Chen Shang sighed. "Give it to me, I'll help you pay for the rest. Consider this my reward for you." Yan Zilan extended her hand, and smiled sweetly. Chen Shang felt that the desire he gave her was also very precious, so he didn't feel that it was wrong to ask for it now. He knew that this beauty who brought calamity upon this nation didn't even take these spar to heart. Yan Zilan looked at Yun Zhu at this time, and then said to Chen Shang, "Bai Xing and I have received your help, obtained many benefits, you are truly a great benefactor. Yun Zhu is also a good sister to me, can you let her have some of your feelings as well?" Although Chen Zhang's strength was weak when compared to hers, her entire body was filled with charm and mystery, making her really want to read and interpret this kind of man. At this moment, her face was slightly red, she looked at Chen Shang with anticipation, and a sweet and gentle smile hung on her face. Although Yun Zhu was a powerful immortal beast and fire wolf, the feeling she gave Chen Shang right now was that of a kind, gentle, and beautiful little sheep. She looked a little simple, and her pair of pure eyes were filled with an innocent light. Seeing Chen Zhang's thoughtful face, Yan Zilan pouted. "Do you think that since Yun Zhu didn't help you, you'll—" Yan Zilan shook Chen Zhang's hand as he pouted his lips. His eyes contained a hidden bitterness, and had a strong killing intent towards men, and seeing how the #1 beauty in sacred Dan realm was acting, Chen Zhang's heart jumped. Even Yun Zhu was secretly surprised. This was the first time she had seen her big sister act so coquettishly, and thinking that Yan Zilan was trying to win some benefits for her, Yun Zhu's heart suddenly felt warm. Chen Shang retracted his hand and forced a laugh. "Sister Zilan, you're different from when I first saw you. You have the demeanor of the sacred Dan realm's #1 beauty. You are a powerful female immortal in the Zilan immortal fairy who is begging so earnestly for a mere mortal like me. Yun Zhu's appearance is not inferior to mine. Do you think that she is more pure and naive, and does not know how to approach men?" Chen Shang now understood how deep the relationship between Yan Zilan and the other two sisters were. "I will definitely come back to the sacred Dan realm in the future. Of course, I'll flatter my 3 sisters, and when that time comes, I'll also have a solid shield behind me. I'm just considering whether or not I should give that thing to her." Chen Shang was never stingy with his connections, and the treasures in his hands and the heaven-defying methods, even immortals would not be able to compare to him. Hearing Chen Zhang's words, Yan Zilan smiled. That kind of coquettish and seductive attitude made Chen Shang moan in his heart, and he really wanted to jump over to strip this beauty of her clothes. "I didn't expect you to have so many treasures. Why are you still considering it? What exactly is it?" Yan Zilan asked with a sweet smile on his face. Yun Zhu said in a low voice at this moment, "There's still no need, I didn't help you. I can't take something that's very valuable." Quote. Deep into the night, Bai Xing was still floating above the awakening formation. He was lying on his back with a calm and peaceful expression, as if he was enjoying something. But at this time, Chen Shang took out a corpse. It was the corpse of an old man. Outside it was cold ice, and on the ice there was a formation technique. It was a formation technique to prevent the energy from leaking. Corpses. Yan Zilan frowned slightly. Chen Shang laughed. This corpse could only be a corpse to many people, but I can make it very valuable. My GU family must have at least a few 100 billion spar. Even if there is one, I might not be able to buy it from you for the price. Yan Zilan had already gotten used to Chen Zhang's remarkable abilities. Back then, Chen Shang had stolen away the Jade Dragon Flower and killed Guo Watching, the powerful elder of the Chaotic Mountain, and then, stole 2 Chaos Fire from a Chaotic Mountain ranker. What value? Yan Zilan looked carefully at the frozen body, but she could not see anything. Chen Shang chuckled. I don't know the name of this corpse either. He is a nirvana stage that wants to kill me. He should have transcended the 8th level of tribulation. Furthermore, he is an important elder of the Fire Divine Palace. Hearing the Fire Divine Palace, Yan Zilan and Yun Ju's delicate bodies trembled. Chen Shang never thought that the evil name of the Fire Divine Palace would actually be so famous in the Sacred Dan realm. A power that specializes in extracting fire soul from the bodies of the mortal realm's people. It is extremely tyrannical in the heaven realm, and its overall strength is also very strong. I never thought that you would actually dare to provoke them. Speaking to here, Yan Zilan realized that what he said was nonsense. Chen Shang even dared to provoke the Chaotic Mountain. What else wouldn't he dare not do? This guy's fire soul is still in her body, and I have a way to extract it. I believe the 2 sisters should know the pain of fusing with the fire soul. I can let Sister Yun Zhu obtain it, but at that time, she will have to endure the pain of fusing with the fire soul. Chen Shang took a deep breath. So that's why I'm considering whether I should give this thing to her. Sister Yun Zhu cultivates flames. The fire soul is of great benefit to her. When Chen Shang was in the first profound realm, he killed several Fire Divine Palace elders who possessed fire soul. Since the Fire Divine Palace was able to extract the fire soul from the human body for others to absorb, it was not strange for Chen Shang to extract the fire soul from the body. What surprised Chen Shang was that Yun Zhu actually said bravely, I'm not afraid, it's just that this corpse is more precious to you. You must be an alchemist. I have the fire soul, and it's also very strong. The fire soul inside this corpse should be a purple fire soul, so that's pretty good. Chen Shang faintly smiled at Yun Zhu. 3. Share, proofread, report, Marfranca 81 April 23, 2019 8:34 p.m. Obrigado pelo capítulo ansioso para o próximo. Reply. Join the discussion. Pipe. Enter your comment here. Log in with C664. Chen Shang did so. On one hand, they were able to deepen their relationship with the 3 sisters Yan Zilan. Although they were female, they were powerful, had lofty statuses, and were very beautiful as well. When he came to the Sacred Dan realm in the future, he would definitely be taken care of by them. On the other hand, he also wanted to confirm if he really had the ability to extract the fire soul from the dead and infuse it into the dead. If he succeeded, in the future, when he had the strength, he would hunt down people from the Fire Divine Palace and take out fire soul from their bodies. Then, he would treat them the same way, letting them experience what kind of feeling they had after the fire soul was taken out. Take this and eat it when you're in pain. It should be able to alleviate the pain. Chen Shang took out a piece of fresh, red, beautiful fruit flesh. This was the fruit flesh of earthly fruit and the moment Chen Shang took it out, Yan Zilan and Yun Zhu could immediately see that it was not ordinary. Yan Zilan was in charge of the Sacred Dan School's business. Since she was a knowledgeable person, she realized that the grade of the fruit was much better than the immortal fruit she mentioned before. Yun Zhu did not accept it. Although Chen Shang gave it to her with an indifferent face, she did not dare to accept it because it was too precious. Yan Zilan chuckled and pinched Yun Zhu's pure face. Elder sister, I spent a lot of effort just now, take it. When she thought about how Yan Zilan had sacrificed his looks and even tried to act spoiled in order to get benefits for her heart warmed and she received it with her jade hands. With the devouring magic Kung Fu and my Fa Li, I should be able to pull out the fire soul. Long Shui said. She had long ago discussed all kinds of methods to extract the fire soul with Su Meiyao and the others. In the end, she felt that this method was the safest and most effective. The devouring magic Kung Fu was able to extract all the energy from a person's body, which was why Chen Shang had used this technique to swallow the Thunder Soul. However, at that time, the Thunder Soul had entered's body, and if he added in the powerful control of his Fa Li, he would be able to prevent the Fire Soul from entering his body during the process. I'm going to start now. When the time comes, I must focus all my attention. You all must help me protect me. Chen Zhang's expression changed, he became solemn. Also, do not leak out this matter, at that time it might not only be the Fire Divine Palace who wants to deal with me. When used on devouring magic Kung Fu, if others knew that he had such a terrifying devilish art, he would be in deep trouble. Others either wanted to steal this devilish art or kill those who understood it, lest the day comes when he himself was devoured. Yun Zhu and Yan Zilan both nodded. Chen Shang released a formless mana that wrapped around his palm and then released his consciousness. He entered his body and felt the Fire Soul that blended into every part of his body. He originally had powerful Heaven Fire Soul on him, and coupled with his powerful divine sense, he could immediately sense them. Then, he would circulate the devouring magic Kung Fu and choose to devour those Fire Souls. Yan Zilan also wanted to see what kind of method Chen Shang used to extract the Fire Soul, but she only sensed that Chen Shang was releasing mana and wasn't able to tell anything else. Chen Zhang's hand was placed on top of the corpse's chest, and a weak purple flame suddenly leaked out from the corpse. Upon seeing it, both Yan Zilan and Yun Zhu fiercely stared at it with their beautiful eyes wide open. This was truly a purple Fire Soul, and in the sacred Dan realm, it was a priceless treasure, especially for some of the older alchemists. They would definitely be able to make a rich alchemist throw their money away to exchange for it. A ball of purple-colored flames slowly condensed into form within Chen Zhang's palm as it violently jumped. It was shining with an extremely dazzling purple light, and under the darkness of the night, it was as if a bright purple star was spewing out light. Yan Zilan and Yun Zhu now understood why Chen Shang had said that he could make this corpse valuable. They looked similar, but what kind of benefits killing a person with a Fire Soul would have? If this ability was known to some powers, they would probably think of ways to make Chen Shang work for them. If Fire Divine Palace knew, then Fire Divine Palace would definitely do whatever it took to eliminate Chen Shang. Thus, they understood why Chen Shang cautiously allowed them to keep their secret. For Chen Shang to reveal such an important secret in front of them, meant that he absolutely trusted them. This also meant that Chen Shang treated them as friends who could entrust their lives to each other. Before long, the purple Fire Soul in Chen Zhang's hand became extremely large, and like a watermelon, it flickered with waves of intense purple light. Completed. I didn't expect it to be so fast. Chen Shang sealed the body again, because there was still a lot of energy inside, allowing him to absorb it in the future. Sister Yun Zhu, are you ready? Chen Shang smiled slightly. Yun Zhu's eyes flickered with an excited Chubo. He looked at Chen Shang with extreme gratitude, and nodded. Holding the purple Fire Soul, Chen Shang pressed it into Yun Zhu's abdomen. Yun Zhu's face instantly revealed a pained expression, and his clothes were also instantly burned up, revealing his snow-white body covered in faint purple flames. Chen Zhang's eyes started to flicker as he looked. Sister Viola, hurry and bring her to a quiet place. She's purposely going to convert the materials into cost and fuse them together. Chen Shang anxiously shouted. Sister Yun Zhu, hurry up and eat that fruit flesh I gave you. Yan Zilan flew over, embraced Yun Zhu tightly and flew in one direction, while Yun Zhu endured the pain of eating the earthly fruit. Not long after, Chen Shang saw a purple light flashing and appeared at a place in the valley far away. From time to time, he heard weak howls of wolves, and in order to not disturb Bai Xing and the sacred dance school, Yan Zilan set up a barrier around himself, isolating himself from Yun Zhu's howls and purple light. Chen Shang laughed. I succeeded. From now on, those fellows from Fire Divine Palace are my best prey, haha. Great, this group of fellows, relying on their solid foundation in the heaven realm, they can be domineering in the mortal realm, plundering Fire Soul and high-grade fire-type medicinal ore. Su Meiyao said with extreme hatred, you better return to the mortal martial realm and join forces with your junior nephew and the others to annihilate the Fire Divine Palace. Otherwise, you will be stabbed in the back when the great war between three realms starts. We'll talk about it when the time comes. I won't let the Fire Divine Palace in the mortal Kung Fu realm get away with it. A flash of ruthlessness flashed across Chen Zhang's eyes. It was precisely because Elder Dan was persecuted by Fire Divine Palace that caused him to come here, and he knew that in other worlds, there were many people who had been pulled out of the Fire Soul by Fire Divine Palace and then killed. Yan Zilan flew back, and revealed a sincere and grateful smile. Yunzu is much stronger than I thought, thank you for giving her such a good gift. There's no need to be so polite, just don't object to me chasing after her. Chen Shang laughed wickedly. Sister Yunju's pure temperament and gentle personality is really an ideal wife, it's just that she's a immortal beast. Yan Zilan saw that Chen Shang was all smiles, she lightly bit her lips, stomped her foot, and pouted. You little scoundrel, what else do you want? Chen Shang looked at Bai Xing, then looked at Yan Zilan, and praised, if you three sisters go out walking frequently, you are really a scourge to the world. Why don't I take you in, and take the justice for the heavens? Damn you! Yan Zilan laughed and used the jade to point at Chen Zhang's forehead. Chapter 665. After Chen Shang arrived at Purple Flower Mountain, Yunzu had to admit that Chen Shang was indeed an extremely powerful person, with a mysterious veil covering his entire body, making people feel as if he had come from an extremely powerful and mysterious world. If Chen Shang had not personally admitted it, Yan Zilan would not have believed that Chen Shang had come from the mortal realm. Bai Xing's body was surrounded by pure white light and floated above the awakening formation. Her curved eyelashes trembled and opened her beautiful eyes slightly. She was still floating above the formation, and the stars in the sky seemed to be much brighter than usual. Her pair of peaceful beautiful eyes were looking at the twinkling stars. For a Bane like you, I will take as many as I can get. I'm not afraid of bringing trouble upon myself. Chen Shang laughed as she walked to Bai Xing's side, but Yan Zilan rolled his eyes at her. Although she knew that Chen Shang and Du Yanyao were disguised as husband and wife, how could she not see through Du Yanyao's intentions? Thank you, young Master Shen. Bai Xing smiled gently, looking at Chen Shang with extreme gratitude. Since she was young, she had always been self-reproachful, she had killed many people, and even killed her benefactors who had taken her in. Now that she knew it was just a coincidence, it had nothing to do with her. She was even more worried about dragging Yan Zilan and Yunzu down. No need to thank me, because I still need you to help me out a lot. Chen Shang smiled at her. How are you feeling now? Do you want to return to the vast space in the future? Quote. Bai Xing looked at Yan Zilan and revealed a warm smile, there's no need. Although that should be my place to go, I already have a home here. This moved Yan Zilan a little. Chen Shang looked at Yan Zilan and Bai Xing. He had a premonition that this Zilan Mountain Valley's three sisters would definitely make a name for themselves in the future. It was daybreak and Bai Xing was jumping about in the valley, chasing after butterflies. From time to time, he would even turn into a very small and cute little white tiger, playing with Chen Shang, making him wish he could carry her and bring her back to mortal realm. Yunzu was still fusing with the purple fire soul. Although a barrier had been set up over there, the purple fire would still appear from time to time. Yunzu had eaten the earthly fruit, and it would take a while to digest the energy that the earthly fruit brought her. 3 days had passed and Yan Zilan had returned from the outside with some news. At that time, the chaos fire will be placed on top of it, and there will be people who will set up some formations in the plaza, saying that it is used to communicate with the gods, but I have asked some friends who know how to set up a formation, and said that the formation is a type of trap used to trap people, and that even the stronger immortals in Sacred Dan Realm would find it difficult to come out of the formation after falling into it. Yan Zilan said, this is undoubtedly a trap set up for you. I don't know what other benefits Chaotic Mountain has given the other powers, to be able to get many large powers to help them. When they were setting up the formation array, I saw other famous formation masters from other forces. Chen Shang said with a grave expression on his face, looks like it has always been difficult for Chaotic Mountain to collect all 7 chaos fire. But right now, I already have 4, so they will definitely be tempted. Sister Zilan, do you think they might be having a vacation? Chen Shang carried the cute little white tiger in his arms and gently stroked the soft fur on her body. Yan Zilan shook his head. No, they will definitely use real power to lure you out. They know that you are not an ordinary person. If the fake power is discovered by you, if you do not appear, then they will have wasted their efforts. Chen Shang rubbed Bai Xing's little head and laughed. Big sis Bai Xing, when the time comes, it's all up to you. With a flash of white light, it turned into a slim and graceful beauty dressed in white clothes floating in the wind. Bai Xing's beautiful eyes flashed with a mischievous light as she smiled sweetly and said, I feel that you're the genuine calamity fiend, but I feel that doing this kind of thing with you is really satisfying. Just thinking about it makes me excited. Bai Xing had always been a mischievous woman, and would often turn into a kitten to play with Chen Shang. Although she was very old and strong, she loved to play around. Bai Xing, how many stars can you make? This has to be grasped well, so as not to harm the innocent. Yan Zilan asked. He glanced at Chen Shang and spat. Scoundrel, you have taught my little sister Bai Xing bad, you have to take responsibility. Chen Shang laughed. How about I marry her, I will discipline her properly. Humph. The two girls immediately snorted tenderly. Bai Xing looked at the sky and said, if I were to use all of the power I have, I should be able to summon a fire lightning star that's 100 times bigger than the heaven sacred city. Suddenly, a low wolf howl came from the valley. Chen Shang and the two girls only saw a purple light flash past, and Yun Zhu appeared in front of them, and he was covered in qi. This was the first time Chen Shang had seen a woman's body, but he did not have any evil thoughts about her. This was because that kind of pure beauty was as if she was emitting waves of holy light, and was able to purify any kind of evil energy. Big sister, second sister, from today onwards, I will become a immortal beast with fire soul. Yun Zhu was very happy, her face was covered in a pure and sweet smile, but she only realized something when he saw Chen Zhang's straight eyes. With a shua sound, her face became like a red apple. Yan Zilan's reaction was fast, and he took out a purple robe, and wrapped it around Yun Zhu's body. I didn't see anything. Chen Shang laughed twice, which made Yun Zhu's face turn even redder, and made him lower his head, not daring to raise it. Seeing this pure beauty being so bashful, Yan Zilan and Bai Xing could not help but spit. Sister Yun Zhu, I didn't think that you could fuse with it in such a short amount of time, and even digest the energy of the fruit's flesh. Chen Shang changed the topic and said with an astonished look on his face. However, Yun Zhu was still extremely shy, and her voice was as loud as a mosquito. It's all thanks to that fruit. My entire body was originally in pain, but after eating it, it would be able to remove all of the pain and increase my speed in fusing with the fire soul. This made Chen Zhang's eyes light up. The earthly fruit being able to have this kind of effect was beyond his expectations. Chapter 666. Yun Zhu was able to successfully fuse the fire soul. Chen Shang was relieved. Yun Zhu was able to successfully fuse the fire soul. Chen Shang was relieved. Sisters, I will be going to Heaven's sacred city now. I need to take a good look at the terrain first. At that time, Sister Bai Xing will need you to master the time and summon that star here in time. Chen Shang cupped his fists and said. Yan Zilan said worriedly, I'll go with you. If something goes wrong, I can still save you. No, when the time comes, I will contact Sister Bai Xing and ask her to display her inherent skill and summon the stars down. Chen Shang gave Bai Xing a jade token, which was used to send messages. Yan Zilan knew that once Chen Shang left and they succeeded, they would return to the mortal martial realm. At that time, it would be unknown how long it would be before they could meet again. The three women sent Chen Shang out of the valley. Please help me greet Yan Yao. Chen Shang said. I will treat her like a sister, don't worry. Yan Zilan's heart was filled with an indescribable melancholy as she stretched out her jade hands to caress Chen Zhang's handsome face. Be careful, Yan Zilan warned. Chen Shang nodded his head, but at this time, Yun Zhu walked over, stood on his tiptoes and kissed Chen Shang on the cheek. Thank you, you must come back to the valley and play again in the future. Chen Shang smiled and nodded. They will definitely come, take care. Chen Shang donned a black robe, flew at a fast speed, and disguised herself. Only after Chen Shang had left and disappeared from their line of sight did the three Yan Zilan sisters return to the Zilan mountain valley. Chen Zhang's appearance had changed their lives greatly, to the point where she was extremely grateful to Chen Shang. Within the Heaven's sacred city, Chen Shang was walking around the side of the plaza. Although he could not get close, looking from afar, he could see that there were a lot of people setting up formations, but their methods were extremely secretive, so outsiders would not be able to see them. In order for you to dare to attack, they will definitely not place any experts in the plaza. At that time, we will just need to use the 72 changes in combination with the Heaven Tour method, and we will not need to step into the plaza to obtain the Chaos Fire. Long Shui said. Chen Shang stayed at the tavern that was the closest to the plaza. He had been observing the stage all day, waiting for the day the event would begin. This was the last vote he had in the Sacred Dan realm, and he was extremely moved when he thought of how he would not leave any regret behind. In the blink of an eye, a few days had passed, and today, the entire plaza was filled with people. All of them were dressed extravagantly, with solemn expressions. It's finally here. Chen Shang anxiously took out a jade token, which was used to communicate with Bai Xing. Sister Bai Xing, if you summon the stars, how long will it take for you to land? It was still early in the morning, and the chaotic mountain had announced that the summoning ceremony would be held at noon. In about 10 breaths' time, that fiery star will fall from the sky. I specially selected that star. After being summoned, it will burn up a large amount of fire and electricity, and rush to the ground at an extremely fast speed. From the energy contained within the star, if that group of old fellows didn't intervene, they would all die. Bai Xing said in a serious tone, if they don't stop us at that time, I'll have the star explode in the sky, in case we destroy the city and harm the innocent. Chen Shang said, at that time, if they really don't stop you, you don't have to be depressed, even if the stars self-detonate in the sky. This group of old fellows are more afraid of death than me, they will definitely intervene. Quote. Although he said that, he could not help but feel shocked in his heart. This Bai Xing's inherent skill was really too terrifying. Summoning stars can only be done once every 500 years or so. If it could be carried out consecutively, White Tiger race would be the ruler of the entire heaven realm long ago. Long Shui said. Could still see Fan Yakan and Lin Shiyi, even Yan Zilin had come. If they could not stop the descending star, then everyone here would be done for. It's about to start. When the time comes, everyone will say that Chaotic Mountain summoned that star down, and it won't be me. Chen Shang felt extremely nervous at this moment. I hope that those old bastards will be able to make their move in time. Many people were looking around to see if Chen Shang was around. Although Chaotic Mountain said that he was summoning the gods with his chaos fire, everyone could tell that it was a trap set up for Chen Shang. If Chen Shang was able to win, then Chaotic Mountain would be utterly embarrassed, and would have lost the last chaos fire in their hands. It's starting. Chen Zhang's heart tightened. Seeing a white-haired old man wearing a grey robe flying up to the stage, he took out 3 chaos fire and inserted them into a wooden board. Then, he jumped down and stood in the middle of the crowd. Chen Zhang's mind stirred, and he released his Fa Li. He wanted to do the same thing as last time when he stole the Jade Dragon Flower, to use a deceptive trick and create an illusion above the stage, and inside the illusion, Long Shui would form a big hand to catch the 3 chaos fire and bring it back. In order to prevent himself from being caught when the time comes, Chen Shang would make Bai Xing summon that star down, and then perform an ability to steal together with Long Shui. Chen Zhang's soul was now much stronger, and his mana was even more powerful. He was able to instantly cast that deceptive spell, so he did not need too much time. Sister Bai Xing, let's begin. Chen Shang held onto the jade tablet, and sent a message to Bai Xing. At the same time, he and Long Shui released their mana, allowing the mana to come up to the stage. Suddenly, the array formation in the plaza flashed with a gold light, and Chen Shang, who was in the hotel, appeared on the stage after blacking out. Chen Shang was extremely shocked. He did not understand why he had to push and pull them over, which caught him off guard, but he still put the 3 chaos fire into the storage magic treasure just in time. The chaos fire was real, which made him feel a lot more at ease. Seeing Chen Shang suddenly appear on the stage, Yan Zilin was extremely shocked in his heart, because Chen Shang had said that he would never step into the plaza later on. Standing around the plaza, the spectators were all stirred up, because Chen Shang had really come and took away the chaos fire, but it would be impossible to escape now. Chen Shang, you really have a good method. Although I do not know what kind of power you used to quietly enter the plaza, but you were still sensed by the formation we set up. Then, the formation opened, the universe shifted and you were brought in through the space. The grey-robed elder laughed out loud. Hand over the chaos fire in your hands, I guarantee that Chaotic Mountain will not pursue this matter any further. At this moment, the faces of all the experts at the edges of the plaza changed greatly. They raised their heads to look at the sky, only to see a huge rock that was burning with flames and flashing with lightning descending from the sky. Quick, everyone, otherwise, we will all die. The entire 18th level will be destroyed. Du Hai bellowed, his eyes turning red, he anxiously jumped up. All of the experts jumped up as fast as they could to gather their strength. They were prepared to catch that giant star and then move on to other places. If they exploded right here, then the entire city would definitely be smashed to smithereens. Chapter 667, Yan Zilin glanced at Chen Shang. He quickly flew up as well. Yan Zilin glanced at Chen Shang. He quickly flew up as well. Primordius, hurry up. This boy is trapped in the array formation and can't get out. An old man shouted. The person called Yu Yuan was the grey-robed elder. he suddenly saw Chen Shang take out a disc-like thing, and it was still frantically absorbing the energy from Chen Zhang's body. Chen Shang had already succeeded. What he needed to do now was to open a dimensional door and return to the mortal martial realm. After Chen Shang stepped into the 100 refining realm, it became denser, enough for him to return to the mortal martial realm. A spatial door appeared. When Primordius saw it, he shouted, "Chen Shang, go and die." After the many experts who were flying in the sky heard this, they immediately turned their heads, only to see Primordius waving his palm, causing a grey chi to shoot towards Chen Shang, and Chen Shang, who was about to enter the dimensional door, was struck by the chi, becoming a blood mist. The dimensional door also closed at this moment. In that moment, Yan Zilan's mind went blank. Looking at the blood mist floating above the stage, she felt her heart throbbing in pain, causing her to almost fall down. Everyone who saw this scene was extremely shocked, although Chen Shang was a weak person, but the things he did were so shocking that they did not expect him to die just like that. Du Hai let out a long sigh, feeling extremely regretful. He continued to fly up in the air, and after the many experts were shocked, they also continued to stop the star from falling down. Yan Zilan resisted the pain in his heart, and glared at Primordius angrily. He clenched his jade fists, and with tears in his eyes, he flew towards the star in the sky. Within the mortal martial realm, Chen Shang appeared within a forest. This was the Chen Martial Continent, a forest very close to the Super Martial School, so Chen Shang looked at his broken legs and scolded with a smile. "Old bastard, I won in the end, haha." Chen Shang was just a little slower, both of his legs were blown into bloody mist, but he had quickly grown up. Seeing flesh and bones continuously growing on his thighs, Chen Shang exclaimed, "Is this the power of rebirth of the Jade Dragon? He really is powerful. Looks like you already have a Yulong blood. You don't have any strength at all right now, and you can grow it quickly. Only the Yulong blood can do that." Long Shui smiled tenderly. "We have finally returned to this place and I don't know how much time has passed." Chen Shang used all of his strength to open the dimensional door and return to the mortal martial realm. Although he was currently powerless, he felt incredibly relaxed, and he had finally returned to the land of his birth. There weren't many old fellows here who were strong enough to destroy the heavens and the earth. "Those old fellows from the sacred Dan realm should think that you are already dead." Bai Yu said, and both she and Su Meiyao broke out in a cold sweat. "It's for the best. I hope these old fellows can live a little longer. I will definitely look for them." Chen Shang looked at his recovered legs and praised. He used all his strength to stand up and walk a few steps. "It's no different from my original legs. It's hard to imagine that my body can recover to its original state even with such a strong body." Chen Shang patted his bare thighs, and released waves of disgusting laughter, scaring the birds and beasts to the point that they flew around. After consuming all the pills, Chen Shang quickly recovered a lot of innate chi. He donned a pair of pants, and flew around the forest. He was already very familiar with the place. If it was to use medicine to recover a damaged body, not only would it not be as strong as it was before, it would also be very uncomfortable. But now, I feel that my legs have never been broken before. Chen Shang now understood why the Yulong blood were being snatched away by the other emperor dragons like they were their treasures, and also understood why so many female dragons threw themselves into their arms. The dragon's body was very strong. If it was injured, it would take a very long time to recover, but if there were Yulong blood it could quickly recover. As soon as Chen Shang entered the super martial profound realm, he was very surprised, because he saw a very young bald man. The smile on the baldy's face was very gentle, looking like he was harmless. Chen Shang would never forget this smile, because this was Wu Kaiming's signature smile. "Little baldy, haha, are you old again? What's going on?" Chen Shang slapped Wu Kaiming's shiny skull until it cracked loudly, causing many elders and true disciples to break out in cold sweat. In all of Super Martial School, probably only a monster like Chen Shang would dare to hit Wu Kaiming on the head like that, and while patting him, he laughed out loud. If it were anyone else, they would have died a long time ago. "Congratulations, you have successfully passed the 8th level of Nirvana Tribulation. You are only one step away from advancing to Heaven Realm." Chen Shang laughed, touching that bright bald head. Wu Kaiming laughed bitterly. "Junior Martial Uncle, you're the same as that madman. You always have to tease me like this when you see my bald head." Chen Shang brought Wu Kaiming back to the Super Dan Imperial College. After entering, he did not see the elder Dan nor Wu Qianchen, and could not help but sigh in his heart. This is all thanks to the martial arts the old madman passed on to me, allowing me to have such a youthful appearance. However, this caused me to pay a lot of cost and I was almost crushed to death by that old madman." Wu Kaming recalled the events of the past and sighed. Chen Shang found out from Wu Kaming that it had only been a little more than a month since Mortal Martial Realm, and it was now the time for Devil Subduing College to hold the Demon Subduing Martial Arts Tournament, inviting many experts from Nirvana stage to exchange pointers with their martial skills. This son of God is a very powerful person, and he was always provoking you. However, there was no trace of you, so many people thought that you were afraid and didn't accept his challenge. Wu Kaming sighed with emotion. This godchild came down from the heaven realm and has quite a bit of status in the heaven realm. He brought some bodies and pills that can be used to rope in some powerful old fellows. The Devil Subduing College's influence within the mortal martial realm is growing wider and wider. Chen Shang was not surprised by this, but he also believed that the godchild could not threaten him, not to mention that the godson did not have as many demon-suppressing bodies as he did. His experience in the sacred Dan realm had made him even more powerful, whether it was in terms of mental state or strength, it was completely different from before. The anti-demon martial arts competition. Of course I have to join in the fun. Chen Shang left immediately. He left the super martial school, stepped onto the transmission array and arrived at the continent of the king, and then rushed towards the Devil Subduing College. The conditions offered by the Devil Subduing College were very generous, and with the help of the anti-demon martial arts, there was no need to spend too much spar. Therefore, many disciples from famous sects in the mortal martial realm had all entered into the academy, and in a short period of time, many cities had been established near the Devil Subduing College, becoming very lively. Chapter 668. Chen Shang arrived at a city near the Devil Subduing College. When he found out the name of this city, he was very surprised, because its name was Xiaoyun. This made him immediately think of Liao Xiaoyun. This enemy who had been with him for many years was someone he had long planned to get rid of as soon as possible once he returned from Sacred Dan Realm. Walking on the streets, Chen Shang saw many people wearing white robes. On the back of the robes, there were 4 words written in red, Xiaoyun Martial Club. Chen Shang quickly thought of something. He was sure that this Liao Xiaoyun must have used some method to get the godchild's recognition, otherwise, he would not be able to establish his small force here. He was sure that the Xiaoyun Martial Club's master was Liao Xiaoyun. After some inquiry, Chen Shang found out that the Xiaoyun Martial Club was indeed Liao Xiaoyun's, and that the city had been renamed because of the Xiaoyun Martial Club here. The reason the city was opened for a month was mainly for those who were rich but were not qualified to enter the Devil Subduing College. Because the Xiaoyun Martial Club had the support of the godchild, many people had signed up to join the dojo to learn martial arts. This allowed Liao Xiaoyun to obtain a very substantial amount of income. This godly son of his can no longer sit still. He actually popped out to display his strength, and because of his high status and talent, a group of people chased after him. This is not strange at all. This guy is from the heaven realm after all, so he must have brought a lot of good stuff from above to rope in some strong warriors. Su Meiyao said. Chen Shang now disguised himself and went into the city. When he first killed Dongfang Yao of the Eastern Lai Hall in the Devil Subduing College, although no one saw him do it, they all suspected him. After that, not only was he expelled from the Devil Subduing College, he was also wanted by 100 million spar. Amongst the 4 great temples of the Devil Subduing College, Dongfang Yao of the Eastern Lai Hall had a very illustrious history, but he was still slaughtered. As for Hua Choxia of the Southern Fragrance 100 Flowers Hall, he had initially attacked Chen Shang when he was in the Fragrance City, but was caught red-handed by Hua Shangyu, and was imprisoned in the death prison of the Dan Fragrance Pure Land. The 2 hall masters had both gone missing because of Chen Shang, so how could the godchild not know? Therefore, facing the godchild's challenge, it made sense for Chen Shang to disappear in the eyes of many people. After all, the godchild was from heaven realm. Using common sense, no matter how strong Chen Shang was, he would definitely not be able to kill the people from the sky. But many people did not know that Chen Shang had actually killed the people from the sky before, and it was even a nirvana stage. Chen Shang arrived at a hotel near the Xiaoyun Martial Club and sat there watching Liao Xiaoyun walk out of the door. Liao Xiaoyun was still as young as he was in the past, his strength was still at the peak of the 100 refining realm, and his complexion was pretty good. I pulled out the Thunder Soul and he recovered his strength so quickly. Chen Shang muttered. What surprised Chen Shang was that Liao Xiaoyun was actually standing at the door, looking at a crack on the ground, and he said with a cold smile. Chen Zhang's swine friend is the same as him, a fellow who doesn't know the limits of heaven and earth. He actually dared to provoke our Shaoyun martial club. When Chen Shang heard this, the wine cup in his hand shattered with a "kacha" sound. He was extremely furious in his heart, because he knew who the person with one of his arms was. At this time, he saw a man dressed in beautiful golden clothes suddenly appear from inside the door, and entered into an extremely luxurious carriage. The carriage was pulled by 4 flying horses, and they flew away from Shaoyun City in the blink of an eye. Is that guy the son of God? He really has a big frame, I couldn't even see his face. Suddenly, Chen Shang saw a black-skinned handsome man standing on the street. He had a face filled with killing intent as he walked towards Shaoyun Martial Club. Good heavens, I worked so hard to enter the 100 refining realm, this brat actually belongs to it too. Chen Shang anxiously walked out and appeared in front of Yun Xiaodao. Yun Xiaodao saw an old man blocking his way, but just as he was about to throw his tantrum, he saw Chen Zhang's extremely familiar pair of eyes. He immediately recognized that this person was Chen Shang who had disguised himself. Big brother. Yun Xiaodao was extremely excited, while Chen Shang also grabbed onto his arm. Long time no see, looks like a lad has trained you guys pretty well. Yun Xiaodao was extremely excited in his heart, but his face was still filled with killing intent. Elder brother Shen, it's good that you came. To avenge this dead pig of Zhu Rong, he's now unconscious and heavily injured, and he doesn't have a single arm left. I will. Let's go wake old Zhu up first. Chen Zhang's expression was gloomy, traces of overflowing killing intent flickered in his eyes. Even if he has the godchild as his backer, I will definitely exterminate him. You are too reckless, the people in Shaoyun Martial Club are not weak. Yun Xiaodao sighed helplessly. Even if I had to risk my life, I would still kill that bastard. He actually stopped us from registering for the demon-subduing martial arts competition, and even slandered us for stealing from the students of the devil-subduing college. Let's go, I guarantee that this Shaoyun Martial Club will disappear before the demon-subduing martial arts competition begins. Chen Shang turned his head and looked at the luxurious mansion. Zhu Rong was in a coma and suffered heavy injuries, but he managed to stabilize himself. It seemed like he had consumed a better pill, but he needed time to recuperate. Where's everyone else in a lad? How can he let old Zhu be bullied by others? Chen Shang took out a pill and placed it in Zhu Rong's mouth. Chen Shang suddenly sensed an ice-cold innate qi. He turned his head to look, only to see XV Weilong staring at him with narrowed eyes, causing him to jump in fright. Blinded dragon, not bad. Chen Shang smiled and patted his shoulder. His strength was actually 100 refining realm. Wang Shengren wanted to shield Liao Shaoyun, and this is a matter of the younger generation. Leader went to look for the old fogey in devil-subduing college, and those old fogies also wanted to represent Liao Shaoyun in apologizing, so we just left it at that. XV Weilong said coldly. Wang Shengren was that godchild's name, but in Shaoyun Martial Club and devil-subduing college, they both had to address him as godchild. Chen Shang rubbed his fist. What's with the apologies? Devil-subduing college used 100 million spar to arrest me, and when I disappeared, there must have been many people looking for me. Hearing this, the blood of Yun Xiaodao and XV Weilong burned fiercely, excitement written all over their faces. They knew that if Chen Shang was here, then this would definitely be the outcome for Shaoyun Martial Club. Master, why didn't you tell me not to do this kind of thing? A voice appeared, startling Chen Shang and the other two. A 15 or 16-year-old, white, tender, and handsome, bald youth appeared at the door. Xiao Chou. Chen Shang laughed loudly. He flew over, raised his hand and fiercely slapped his shining bald head. You brat, why have you grown so much? Chen Shang remembered that when Xiao Chou left him, he was only a child but he was now a teenager. The fact that the great strength race was growing very slowly, and that he had a young appearance now, meant that he had lived for a very long time, and that was something that could only be done within the time formation. Master, you don't have to worry. Although I am much stronger than you now, but you are still my master, because without your teachings, I would not have had the chance to comprehend the legacies of my ancestors. Su Yun said calmly. Xiao Chou said very seriously. Chapter 669. Yun Xiaodao and XV Weilong saw Xiao Chou saying these words. He had thought that under Jiyu Dongchen's nurturing, his progress had been extremely fast. However, with just a few words from Xiao Chou, he seemed to have the power to instantly kill Chen Shang. And what about Chen Zhang's strength? Yun Xiaodao, Xy Long and Xiao Chou could not tell, but from the information that they obtained from Chen Zhang's previous disappearance, it could be the soul martial realm. Chen Shang slapped Xiao Chou's bald head again. Brat, you still deserve to be taught a lesson, huh? From the looks of it, you seem to be unrivaled in the world. This isn't good. Quote. Xiao Chou smiled, smiling extremely confidently. At this time, he no longer had the attitude of looking down on everyone else. Master, what I said was the truth. My great strength race's inheritance is already very extraordinary. I have now reached the peak of the 100 refining realm, and after I comprehended the legacy of the great strength race, I received a lot of power of giving, allowing me to sense the martial spirits, strengthen my martial spirits, strengthen my body. From the spirit martial realm to the soul martial realm, all of these went unobstructed. In one breath's time, I reached my current stage. Peak of 100 refining realm. Yun Xiaodao and Xy Long were both extremely shocked, and had even went up in one go. But Chen Shang just smiled playfully. He did not care about it at all, but in his heart, he was secretly thankful for his foresight. Fortunately, he had gained a lot from Sacred Dan realm, otherwise, he would really be killed by his own disciple. Pa pa pa, Chen Shang fiercely slapped Xiao Chou's shiny skull a few times. Brat, you're still too arrogant, don't think that you're the only one who's leveling up, the others have not gotten any enhancements yet. Master, are you faster than me? It's only been a short while. I remember that when I parted with you back then, you had only just stepped into the extreme realm. I admit that I was able to improve so quickly due to a fortuitous encounter, but don't worry master, with your talent, you'll still have a chance to surpass me in the future. I'm still your disciple. Before he finished speaking, Chen Shang suddenly struck out with his palm, but because the speed was too fast, no one saw him make a move, but with a loud explosion, Xiao Chou's entire person disappeared. After Xiao Chou was sent flying by Chen Shang, his body instantly penetrated through many houses, and smashed out a large hole in many houses and walls. This brat, if I don't teach him a lesson, I really won't know how powerful I am. Chen Shang smiled faintly. Yun Xiaodao and Xy Long didn't seem to be too surprised, because it was considered normal in their eyes, and they only sighed in their hearts. Zhu Rong woke up. After he had eaten Chen Zhang's medicinal pellet, his arm slowly grew back. This pellet was a pellet of top-grade ground level, even Nirvana stage could quickly recover after eating it, let alone Zhu Rong. It was just that Chen Shang did not tell him the name of this expensive medicinal pellet. Younger brother Shen, I purposely got injured because I wanted you to appear. I knew you would come. Zhu Rong's complexion looked much better, but after seeing Chen Shang, he laughed out loud. Actually, it's already not bad that I was able to stay under Liao Xiaoyun's lead for a few moves. I'll leave this guy to you guys. Xiao Chou returned, his entire body was covered in soil and ashes. He saw that Chen Shang was no longer bragging. He had been tensed up just now, on the alert that Chen Shang would suddenly come to test him, yet he was still sent flying by Chen Zhang's palm. Furthermore, he did not even use the slightest bit of innate qi. Old Zhu, you should be able to walk now, right? Chen Shang asked. Zhu Rong immediately jumped up from the bed and asked with a smile, just what kind of pill is this? It took me so long to completely recover. Quote. Of course Chen Shang would not tell him that it was a relive Dan, he only smiled and said, Hell Ganoderma, I have something for you to do. When Xiao Chou, Xy Long, Yun Xiaodao and the other two saw Chen Zhang's words, they knew that Chen Shang had a plan to deal with that Liao Xiaoyun. Just say it, Zhu Rong said, this is the 9 quenching body Dan. Think of a way to spread the bounty order, just say you can obtain this 9 quenching body Dan after taking Liao Xiaoyun's head. Chen Shang took out a pellet. This kind of pellet, in his eyes, was no different from a pea. However, in the eyes of Zhu Rong and the rest, it was indeed a treasure. They felt that using pills to place a bounty on Liao Xiaoyun was not worth it. Chen Shang laughed. Relax, with how smart Liao Xiaoyun is, he will definitely not be caught. As he spoke, he took out another pill. This is the Relive Dan. Smelling the medicinal fragrance, when they heard the 3 words, Relive Dan, Zhu Rong and the other 3 were immediately dumbstruck. The Relive Dan, an expensive pellet of upper-grade ground level, actually existed for Chen Shang to have this kind of thing. Xiao Chou now understood why Chen Shang was stronger than him, because Chen Shang was still an alchemist. Don't try to steal it. This is for the god's head. I want to see how they can still act so arrogantly. Chen Shang passed the 2 pellets to Zhu Rong. if you want to return to the super martial school and release this news there, you will need to invite some old geezers from the medicine world to appraise this. You also need to find some other reputable powers to support your bounty. Yun Xiaodao and the others could not believe that Chen Shang actually gave these 2 precious pellets to Zhu Rong so easily to issue a bounty. These are 10 Chunyuan gold dan. Tell them, this is their reward, so they can spread the news of this within the shortest amount of time possible to the entire mortal martial realm. Chen Shang was an alchemist, so naturally, the thing he lacked the most was pellets. As of now, Yun Xiaodao and the others could already completely feel the outcome of offending an alchemist. Relax, I have a lot of these things, but you all must prepare spars to buy from me. Although you are my friends, I cannot give them to you all for nothing. Chen Shang chuckled. You guys should know that not everyone has the chance to be slaughtered by me. Yun Xiaodao laughed out loud. To be able to buy this pill, no matter how many cuts we get killed, we would be willing to do so. It seems like we have to find some time to get these spars. Through the transmission array in the city, Zhu Rong was sent to the great transmission array of the city of the king, and then, he was sent back to the super martial school. In just half a day's time, Yun Xiaodao had received news of the bounty. The entire mortal martial realm was alarmed because this was an extremely large bounty, and it had to be known that the relive dan was far more enticing than the spar, especially to those old fellows from the nirvana stage. Even if they were 9 quenching body dan s, there were many hundred refining realm s and warriors who were interested in them. This is troublesome. I found out that it was old Zhu who gave them rewards, luckily he is currently in super martial school. Yun Xiaodao laughed. Old Zhu was injured by Liao Xiaoyun, so it is normal for him to do such a thing, it is just that many people are curious to know who gave him the pill. Xiao Chou rubbed his bald head and laughed. Many people should have guessed that this master gave it to him. Oh right, master, when are you planning to destroy Shaoyun Martial Club? Quote. Chen Shang did not say anything. He was using the Heaven Tour method, letting his own consciousness wander on top of the Shaoyun Martial Club. He could clearly hear and see the things there. Chapter 670, Following the Strengthening of Chen Zhang's Soul. When he used the Heaven Tour method, he could also let his consciousness travel a little further. However, compared to Long Shui, it was still much weaker, and he had to spend quite a bit of mana to do so. He looked down at the entire Shaoyun Martial Club, and very quickly saw Liao Xiaoyun's gloomy face, and he returned to the dojo. Pass down the order. Once you see Yun Xiaodao and the others, you must capture them. Moreover, you must not allow anyone else to enter. Liao Xiaoyun was currently flustered and exasperated. He never thought that there would actually be someone who would use such an expensive medicinal pellet to offer him rewards, and he didn't have the same concealed skill as Chen Shang, so he was naturally afraid. Chen Shang regained his senses, and said, Liao Xiaoyun should be back, and godchild Wang Shengren probably doesn't dare to leave now. He must be very angry right now. He is a dignified godchild, but unexpectedly, someone used a broken pellet to place a bounty on his head. He did not expect to have such a day. What dogshit godson of a bitch. Even if he is destined to become a god in the future, he is just a fart without strength right now. Xiao Chou laughed. Chen Shang looked at the sky. The sky was filled with thick clouds and it was already dusk. With such a thick layer of clouds, it will definitely be very dark tonight. It's a dark, windy night, a night to kill. Chen Shang said, let's start tonight. There were no Nirvana stage in the Shaoyun Martial Club. Long Shui had already confirmed this, but even though there were only 4 people on Chen Zhang's side, they were all experts, especially this great strength race who had received a fortuitous encounter and had his bloodline awaken. Even Chen Shang felt that it would take a lot of effort to defeat his disciple. Elder brother Shen, does that mean you're not going to participate in the demon subduing martial arts competition? Yun Xiaodao asked. Why do you ask? I will definitely attend it. Chen Shang laughed. You killed Liao Xiaoyun, they will definitely not let you sign up. Yun Xiaodao said, when the time comes, we won't be able to register. Xiao Chou said, if you don't want to, then don't want to go. Yun Xiaodao said, the reward for the anti-demon martial arts competition was a small white dragon blood dan. It was said that Wang Shengren took it out himself, and it is now in the custody of the principal who is in charge of the martial arts tournament. The white dragon blood dan caused Chen Shang to be secretly shocked. He anxiously said, Chen Shang, this white dragon blood dan can be used to help the white-haired beauty awaken the white dragon vein in her body. Previously, Dongfang Yao had said that the godchild had a way to allow Leng Yulin to awaken his white dragon vein. In order for Leng Yulan to gain immense power, Chen Shang had to get hold of the white dragon blood Dan. Can't you get this thing out? Chen Shang asked Long Shui. What exactly is this thing? To ordinary people, the greatest use is to strengthen the physical body, but it is only useful for people with weaker physical bodies. Usually, the white dragon blood Dan would be used for humans with white dragon vein to consume, so for those kind of people, the greatest use is awakening of their bloodline. Understood. Furthermore, you must have the strength of an immortal to have a dragon that has been born. I cannot do that, Long Shui said. XVY Long said, as long as we can register, we can participate once we pass the examination. Wang Shengren had always wanted to challenge Chen Shang, so they would definitely not stop him from registering. Chen Shang nodded his head. That's right, if I am stopped, I will disguise myself and use a different name. This white dragon blood Dan must be very valuable to Wang Shengren, I will not take it. When the time comes, Wang Shengren will also participate. He was confident that he could get first place, which was why he was willing to take out the white dragon blood Dan as a reward. There's a good show to see now. Yun Xiaodao laughed. At night, Chen Shang, Yun Xiaodao, Zhu Rong and Xiao Chou were walking on the main street. At this time, Shaoyun City was still bustling with activity, and shouts could be heard from the Shaoyun Martial Club, accompanied by the shaking of the air caused by the competition. Liao Shaoyun is gone, he's not inside. Long Shui suddenly said. Could he be hiding somewhere? Chen Shang did not expect Liao Shaoyun, who had just returned, to suddenly leave. Whatever, I have to destroy this Shaoyun Martial Club tonight. Chen Shang was still aggressively walking on the street, and anyone who saw him would know that he did not come with good intentions, and was even heading towards the direction of Shaoyun Martial Club. However, most of the warriors that came to this city to participate in the demon subduing martial arts competition recognized Yun Xiaodao and XV Weilong, and Chen Shang, who had disguised himself, did not. Chen Shang and the rest were followed by a group of people who came to watch the show, which suited Chen Zhang's intentions. At the entrance of the Shaoyun Martial Club, Chen Shang and the rest were stopped by two muscular men. What are you doing? If you want to take the position of the owner, get the hell out of here. With that, Xiao Chou threw a punch towards the tightly shut door. The power of the punch was like thunder, spitting out a burst of golden light. Striking the air, it created a wave of chi undulations and shockwaves, and struck the two robust men's bodies, causing the door to immediately shatter, and the two of them flew into the dojo, their huge bodies smashing through many buildings. This caused everyone to be shocked, because this youth's attack was not ordinary. A simple punch actually had such a strong power. Let's go, Chen Shang shouted coldly. A sound wave rippled out from his mouth and transformed into a dragon's roar. Like a raging dragon, it stirred up a powerful energy storm. The green ripples that could be seen with the naked eye, extended forward mightily. When the luxuriously decorated door touched the sonic wave, it was instantly ripped into pieces. Those who rushed out from the sound wave were all shaken as their blood surged, and they vomited blood while shouting. This move not only shocked those who came to watch the show, but also Yun Xiaodao and the others. The dragon roar was a sound wave martial art from the god level, and Chen Shang had used 3 levels of power to seek death, causing such strong damage. If he used his power, then those people would have been shocked senseless, and even the people around him would be affected. Chen Shang walked in front, stepping on top of the shattered pieces, and then in an extremely violent manner, entered the Shaoyun Martial Club. You all, what are you guys doing here? A middle-aged man rushed out with a group of people. Seeing the broken down area and the many experts of his dojo lying on the ground, he felt the ferocious aura from Chen Shang and the others, which made him shocked. We are here to cause trouble, didn't Liao Shaoyun say that before? Whoever has the ability can come and smash his Shaoyun Martial Club at any time. Yun Xiaodao laughed loudly. Where is this idiot hiding? He would be very sorry if he couldn't see his dojo destroyed. Quote. Xiao Chou curled his lips and said, since we are here to smash the building, then let's not be so long-winded. Let me prove it, we are indeed here to smash the building. The great strength race had always been a warlike person, his entire body was filled with violence and blood. Now that he had the chance, Xiao Chou was extremely excited, his blood boiling, he rushed in, and in that instant, a house collapsed and turned into ruins. Chapter 671. In the pitch-black night sky. The Shaoyun Martial Clubs who were like palaces were collapsing one house after another. Yun Xiaodao, Xiao Chou and XV Weilong had wreaked havoc in this place, but no one dared to stop them. Seeing how cruel Chen Shang and the rest were, they naturally knew that these 4 people had steeled their hearts to smash Xiaoyun Martial Club to the ground. This showed that they were not afraid of Liao Xiaoyun and the god children at all, and if they went to stop them now, they might be killed. Although Liao Xiaoyun was not here, it was still not bad to smash his dojo. All of you stop right now, do you think you have a long life? A thunderous shout rang out, startling everyone. There were many people gathered outside the Xiaoyun Martial Club. There were people from both the city and the Xiaoyun Martial Club, but most of them knew who the voice belonged to. It was the city lord here, named Kai Yu. Xiao Dao, who is this guy? Chen Shang asked, while Yun Xiaodao and the others also stopped beating them up, gathering together. They were worried that the Devil Subduing College would send out a few old fellows, so their attack speed was extremely fast. In the entire Xiaoyun Martial Club, most of them had already been turned into ruins, and there were even hundreds of injured people, all of whom were invited by the Xiaoyun Martial Club. This guy is called Kai Yu, he's from City Lord, it's said that he's from there, he's at the peak of 100 refining realm, and he's already 1,000 years old this year. Although he's a hopeless bastard who relies on elixirs to increase his lifespan, he's not weak at all. Yun Xiaodao said. 100 refining realm warrior who could live for more than 1,000 years would definitely not be weak, but Chen Shang was not afraid at all. Master, let me do it. Xiao Chou stepped forward and stood in front of Chen Shang. Chen Shang nodded. Be careful. Long Shui was monitoring the surroundings' movements. Once a powerful old fellow appeared, he would immediately inform Chen Shang and the others to escape, in case they were caught by the Nirvana stage. Kai Yu had the appearance of a middle-aged man, but his hair was already somewhat white. He was tall and sturdy, with eyes filled with anger, because he saw that the people who came to his territory to behave atrociously were 4 young brats, especially Yun Xiaodao and Xv Weilong. Liao Xiaoyun had once instructed him to pay attention to these 2 people. Liao Xiaoyun's lackey, oh no, it should be the godchild's lackey, how many shameful things did you all do for Wang Shengren? I heard that Wang Shengren, this divine rod, has some special hobbies. Before Yun Xiaodao could finish his sentence, Kai Yu shouted, you are publicly insulting the Son of God. You are all doomed. Yun Xiaodao said with a cold laugh, did someone personally see someone capture a few 15 to 16-year-old youths and bring them into the Devil Subduing College's divine hall? When Kai Yu heard this, he shouted angrily, you're slandering me. With that, the big fist struck towards Yun Xiaodao, a gold light flashed, the dense killing intent created a gust of wind, blowing up a large amount of ruins. Your opponent is me, Xiao Chou shouted, his palm became like lightning, his imposing manner swift. Everyone only saw Xiao Chou wave his palm, forming a golden rainbow, and directly struck Kai Yu's huge fist. Pow! With a crisp sound, it gave rise to a burst of air waves, blowing away the sand. Xiao Chou had only casually struck out with his palm, but he had withstood Kai Yu's furious punch. 1,000-year-old bastard, if you don't hide in the shell and wait for death, stick your head out for others to chop, you're the one who thinks you have a long life. Xiao Chou laughed out loud. Both of his palms were like a storm, the palm technique was berserk but not chaotic. Kai Yu was caught unprepared by this sudden and exquisite yet violent palm attack and could only block it. He was even angrier now because he dreaded others mentioning his age, and not only had Xiao Chou mentioned it, he had also insulted him. Xiao Chou was a born genius of the great strength race, and after his power awakened, he received another fortuitous encounter, which resulted in a series of breakthroughs. His strength was extraordinary, and every palm of his contained the power to split a mountain. Chen Shang could tell that Xiao Chou's strength was growing stronger and stronger, to the point that every step he took caused the ground to tremble. That kind of power was something he had never seen before. It was different from the power of the innate qi, it was a type of power that seemed to come from the body, but it was not, because it also carried a kind of strange aura. Who the hell are you? Another palm struck Kai Yu's chest, shattering his internal organs. HMPH, remember, I am called Xiao Chou. Speak the truth, what kind of heinous matter did that son of God, Wang Shengren, want you dogs to do? Xiao Chou kicked Kai Yu's left shoulder. A powerful force broke both his left shoulder and one of his arms, and blood and bone fragments shot out from his skin. The pain made Kai Yu scream out in pain. Speak. Xiao Chou stomped his foot on Kai Yu's right shoulder, otherwise, your arm would have been broken as well. The sharp pain from earlier sent a shiver down Kai Yu's spine. He gritted his teeth and said, he told us to capture some virgins in some remote villages, Before he could finish his sentence, a beam of fire shot down from the sky and struck Kai Yu's head. The head then exploded into pieces. Damned guy, who is it? Xiao Chou looked up and saw Liao Xiaoyun, dressed in white, flying down from the sky slowly. Seeing the handsome man use the same method to kill Kai Yu just now, everyone started to believe that the godchild had truly done something evil, if not Liao Xiaoyun would not have silenced him. Liao Xiaoyun looked at Xiao Chou, and said indifferently, "It's you who smashed my Xiaoyun martial club. You are forcing the city lord to admit that you have slandered the Son of God. If you want to slander the reputation of the Son of God, you are going against the devil-subduing college." Quote. Liao Xiaoyun did not recognize Chen Shang. He only looked at Xiao Chou coldly, because Xiao Chou gave him a very oppressive feeling. Xiao Chou of the great strength race. HMPH, I had wanted to kill you since long ago, who asked you to be Chen Zhang's disciple. And now you are here to destroy my Xiaoyun martial club, die. Liao Xiaoyun's handsome face, which was like jade, suddenly had veins popping out, her body suddenly spewed out rays of golden light, making her look like a holy light, causing people to have the urge to kneel down and worship her. Seeing this, everyone hurriedly left. Seize the other three, then leave the baldy to me. I'll make him suffer a fate worse than death. Liao Xiaoyun's face was sinister, his body releasing holy golden light that was out of place, just like a devil that could use its pure and holy power. And the other three, who were enveloped by this light, had a different feeling because they felt a very evil aura, and it made them feel as if they were facing an evil god who had just walked out of hell. Little demon of the great strength race, the godchild must really like you. Liao Xiaoyun laughed sinisterly as he struck out with his palm in the air. Liao Xiaoyun's hand released a golden light that turned into a hand without flesh, looking extremely frightening. Chapter 672. Liao Xiaoyun's current martial arts. It shocked Chen Shang, because this kind of martial arts was definitely not owned by the mortal realm, and the evil chi that was shot out, was only found in those extremely evil martial arts. The evil arts that he cultivated did not have such evil chi. Xiao Chou didn't know why, but his eyes glowed red as he stood there in a daze. Chen Shang was shocked, flying over and smashed the skeletal hand with a "pa" sound. The sound resounded through the sky like a thunderclap, and a pure supreme yang qi floated amidst the ruins. Xiao Chou, leave this to me. Chen Zhang's voice was heavy. The evil techniques that Liao Xiaoyun was currently controlling were definitely not things that Xiao Chou could handle. Xiao Chou had woken up from his stupor. When he was exposed to the golden light at a close distance, all the blood in his body had rushed up to his head and caused him to lose consciousness. If not for Chen Shang, he would have been struck dead. Chen Shang, Liao Xiaoyun shouted with a trembling voice. At this moment, his face was filled with excitement, anger, and excitement. Liao Xiaoyun originally obtained the Thunder Soul that was even more precious than the Fire Soul, but when he was ambushed by Chen Shang, the Thunder Soul was absorbed by Chen Shang, causing his strength to drop greatly. Thinking back to what happened that day, Liao Xiaoyun was so angry that his entire body was trembling. He wanted to kill Chen Shang even in his dreams. Many people had heard of Xiao Chou's great name, because he was one of the few great strength races and had once shone brilliantly in the hero tournament, but in the end he was defeated by Chen Shang and took him as his master. And Chen Zhang's name was something that everyone could hear. Now that he had actually appeared here, the crowd immediately burst out in surprised discussion, and some people even left the Xiaoyun Martial Club far behind's kind of brutal strength was something that many people here had seen before. After Chen Shang was wanted, he had disappeared for more than a month. Now that he appeared again, he had done such an astonishing thing, destroy the Xiaoyun Martial Club and clash with Liao Xiaoyun. It had to be known that Liao Xiaoyun was like the sun in the sky, a popular person by the god's sun's side. Against Liao Xiaoyun, even if he did not place the god's sun in his eyes, a few Nirvana stage's warriors would not dare to do such a thing, but Chen Shang would. In everyone's eyes, this was something that was normal for them. You're the one who wanted me. Liao Xiaoyun shouted angrily. The anger in his heart had already ignited his blood to boiling point. Chen Shang laughed blandly. I only used a few broken pellets, but I never thought that you and that god stick would be so scared of me, like a turtle, that they even shrunk their eggs. Everyone groaned and cursed in their hearts. So, how many broken pellets were they supposed to call that? Relive Dan and 9 Quenching Body Dan were all treasures to warriors. They had a price but could not be bought, yet in Chen Zhang's words, they became like broken pellets. I didn't expect that the god stick really had some tricks up its sleeve. It can let a trash like you stand up anew. Chen Shang looked at the strange golden light on Liao Xiaoyun's body. This divine staff is indeed a fool, to actually teach you this kind of evil technique. and his devil-subduing college's demonic techniques are all used to counter this kind of evil technique. I think that divine rod is worried that one day you will surpass him, so. Shut up, Chen Shang, you are the one who cultivates the evil arts, you devouring my thunder soul, causing me to almost die. Liao Xiaoyun roared angrily, making everyone dumbstruck. Chen Shang actually had a berserk thunder soul, and it was something that everyone was afraid of, something that was devoured from Liao Xiaoyun's body. Chen Shang laughed indifferently, didn't you steal it from someone else? Why haven't you made your move yet? Are you afraid of me? My devil-subduing method has already been trained to the 10th layer, against you evil beings, it will become even more powerful, haha. Liao Xiaoyun clenched his fist tightly. He indeed had the concerns that Chen Shang had mentioned, but he had been releasing that demonic gold light the entire time, and what surprised him was that Chen Shang was not distracted by his gold light, but that Xiao Chou just lost consciousness in an instant. Chen Shang could also see through Liao Xiaoyun's thoughts, and laughed, I will give you another 2 hours, your insignificant skill is useless. After he had merged with devil-suppressing blood, he had cultivated the strongest devil-suppressing golden body. Not only could he use his impenetrable, he could also guard against all kinds of evil powers. Humph, you desecrate the Son of God, I must capture you and hand you over to the Son of God for punishment. Liao Xiaoyun's arms trembled, a gold light shot out from his fists danced chaotically, his steps were like thunder as he rushed towards Chen Shang. Both of Liao Xiaoyun's fists were so fast that they formed hundreds of instantaneous punches, and each punch was even capable of striking out a ball of golden light containing an evil and terrifying power. Like a torrential rain, it landed on Chen Zhang's body. A few balls of golden light fell onto the ground, instantly creating a huge crater. The rainstorm-like ball of light rushed towards Chen Shang from all directions, and the moment it touched something, it would release a wave of intense energy. Also, countless balls of golden light fell onto the ground around Chen Shang, causing a series of explosions. Chen Shang was enveloped by countless golden balls of light, and in just an instant, his body had suffered dozens of violent attacks. Liao Xiaoyun, on the other hand, was continuously punching out with his fist, and countless explosions continuously sounded out, filling the entire city up with the sounds of explosions. And at the place where Chen Shang was standing, there were bursts of flashing golden light and extremely intense energy explosions, making it impossible to see what was happening clearly within. Yun Xiaodao, Xiao Chou and XV Weilong had also been attacked by a large group of people, so they didn't have time to worry about Chen Shang right now. They had an incomparable trust in him, and they knew that he would definitely be able to handle him. Chen Shang, haha, you are still as arrogant as before, you think that you are invincible after learning the 10th level of the devil-subduing method. Liao Xiaoyun laughed crazily, he waved both of his fists along with his maniacal laughter, becoming even more ruthless. Just when everyone thought that Chen Zhang's body was being blown away by the explosion, Chen Zhang's calm voice came out, I already said, your evil technique is not enough to deal with me. Chen Shang bellowed, and a thick water vapor burst out, transforming into a pure white mist in the blink of an eye, purifying the evil aura that shrouded the sky. At the same time, the Shaoyun martial club that had turned into ruins began to shake violently. Some parts of it had even cracked. Break! Chen Zhang's body trembled, the dragon power burst out from his body in all directions, and the golden ball of light enveloping him was instantly destroyed. Dragon power! Seeing this power, Xiao Chou's heart trembled. This kind of power was his nightmare. Liao Xiaoyun was also extremely shocked in his heart, because Chen Zhang's current strength was actually this terrifying. That pure dragon power, in particular, and an aura that caused him to feel fear, caused the evil energy in his body to instantly weaken by a few degrees. Chapter 673. The people of the entire Youngcloud city were all stunned. Many people from the surrounding cities also dared to come over. When they found out that it was a big battle between Chen Shang and his subordinate, they were extremely excited and shocked, as they tried to find a good spot to watch. Chen Zhang's entire body was filled with dragon power. Any human who cultivates in the Taiji dragon suppressed Kung Fu can cultivate the power of a dragon. Back then, Chen Zhang's master, Huang Jintian, used a full body of the terrifying dragon power to shake the entire mortal martial realm. Chen Shang was like an awakened ancient giant dragon, its entire body emitting an ancient power. The ground trembled, the wind and clouds changed color, the dragon power in Chen Zhang's body started to churn, releasing waves after waves of growls, like the roar of a ferocious dragon. Liao Xiaoyun, let's settle this today. Chen Shang suddenly took a step forward, and a crack appeared beneath his feet. The white dragon power shot out from under his feet, transforming into a white dragon, rushing towards Liao Xiaoyun along the crack. This kind of kill dragon art was a rarity to begin with, and to be able to see someone using it was even rarer. What was most shocking was that the white dragon formed from the dragon power suddenly turned red, its entire body covered with red crystal-like scales, flames burned, its imposing manner pressing on the air, it flew out from the crevice and struck Liao Xiaoyun. Chen Shang used the power of the fire god dragon soul to strengthen the dragon power. Adding his mana usage, this power turned into a fire dragon. Liao Xiaoyun never thought that Chen Shang could easily execute such a terrifying kill dragon art, allowing his own strength to turn into a lifelike dragon. He looked at the roaring and raging fire dragon rushing towards him, terrified. Letting out an angry roar, he strengthened his aura, folded his palms together, and his entire body was covered in a golden light. A pillar of light shot out from his palm and struck the fire dragon. Liao Xiaoyun was also extremely strong. Under his full strength, he defeated the fire dragon, turning it into countless of flames that were about to break down, and scattered it amongst the ruins, igniting some of the wood. It's just a bluff. When Liao Xiaoyun saw that the fire dragon was so easily destroyed by him, he sneered. His folded palms sprayed out a beam of light at Chen Shang, which actually passed through his body and struck a hole in Chen Zhang's chest. Seeing it being so easy, everyone could not believe that Chen Shang had been struck so easily. Liao Xiaoyun also could not believe it, and they all subconsciously thought of Chen Zhang's water mirror technique, but that was not it, because after being struck with the water mirror technique, it would turn into mist and dissipate away. However, not only did it not happen now, there was even blood flowing out from the hole on his chest. Just as Xiao Chou and the others wanted to shout in anger, Chen Shang suddenly appeared beside them, and slapped towards Liao Xiaoyun's face. Liao Xiaoyun was already sure that Chen Zhang's chest had been pierced by him, but Chen Zhang's sudden appearance caught him off guard. Pa 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 pa, Chen Shang used the power of dragon power and the 10th layer of devil suppressing power, and gave Liao Xiaoyun a slap. After Liao Xiaoyun's delicate and tender face was slapped, the bones on her face immediately shattered. Her teeth had also shattered into many small snow-white pieces, and following that, a mouthful of blood sprayed out from Liao Xiaoyun's mouth. After striking out with his palm, Chen Shang immediately followed up with 2 punches, with a pair of tiger skin-gloved man appearing on top of them. Killing intent surged out, enveloping the entire sky. Liao Xiaoyun was so angry that he wanted to curse, but Chen Shang did not give him the chance. Even if he wanted to shout a few times, he could only spit out a mouthful of blood. The virtual image that Chen Shang had released just now was created by him using the water mirror technique together with the eye concealment technique. It was extremely realistic. Even if it was hit, it would not dissipate and could be used to distract others and give the opponent a fatal blow. A series of explosions resounded in the sky once again, but this time it was Chen Shang who released all of them. His fists were filled with the power of the 10th layer of devil suppressing power, and it was even activated using the dragon power, coordinating with the slaughter god's hand. These few waves of berserk energy gathered together and struck Liao Xiaoyun's body, and every fist was capable of crushing Liao Xiaoyun's bones and flesh into paste. Liao Xiaoyun's body suffered hundreds of punches in just a few moments. Other than his head being still considered intact, his other body had already turned into mud. He glared at Chen Shang with eyes filled with hatred, as if he was going to be cut into pieces by Chen Shang. Chen Shang stepped onto his cheek and said expressionlessly, "How did you step on me back then? 30 years, east, west, 30 years. After he finished speaking, Chen Shang used his strength and stomped his foot and shattered 2 of Liao Xiaoyun's bones, causing him to let out an extremely miserable roar of pain. TL. The godchild is coming. Long Shui shouted. Chen Shang gave Yun Xiaodao and the others a look and told them to leave. Previously, Chen Shang had agreed with them that when they knew that some powerful people were going to come, they would leave quickly. The number of disciples in the famous sects who died in their hands numbered in the tens, and some of them were even students of the Devil Subduing College. Chen Shang ruthlessly trampled on Liao Xiaoyun's face. Even if he didn't kill him, he had said it before, he wouldn't let Liao Xiaoyun die too easily. Hearing Liao Xiaoyun's miserable cries, everyone's heart tensed up. Even if Chen Shang wasn't disguised, they could still recognize him as Chen Shang. Insolent Chen Shang, you dare cause trouble in my devil-subduing college's territory, and even kill my devil-subduing college's elite disciples. I will definitely kill you. An imposing voice came out, a cold voice, but it was as if it was an emperor who had the power to make others submit. Within the angry voice, there was a killing intent that actually broke through Chen Zhang's released killing intent. The godchild had come. This was a man dressed in a golden robe, with a jade-like face, eyebrows that were like twin swords, and eyes that were like stars. He landed gracefully in front of Chen Shang, and his eyes that were as deep as the ocean emitted an aggressive glow as he stared at Chen Shang like a god looking at a mortal. If it was anyone else, they would have already knelt down, but Chen Shang was not. He continued to trample on Liao Xiaoyun's head. Let him go, I'll give you a chance to fight me, and let you die a fair and square death. Unhappiness flashed across Wang Shengren's eyes, because Chen Shang actually didn't respect him like the others. God stick, I've finally met you. Chen Shang laughed loudly. Let's see how you will make me die so unfairly. While speaking, strength condensed under Chen Zhang's feet, the power of the 10th layer of devil-suppressing power shot out. 10 thunderclaps that shook the world resounded. Liao Xiaoyun's entire body was immediately burnt to ashes by the flames inside the devil-subduing method. I'm angry. The muscles on Wang Shengren's face twitched. Since the moment he was determined to be the godchild, he had never been provoked like this. The fists that he tightly clenched released a faint gold light aura, and the golden robe on his back fluttered. The moment that aura appeared, the sky and earth changed color, the wind and clouds surged, and the earth trembled. Devil-suppressing fist. When Wang Shengren's golden fist was unleashed, the spatial tower had collapsed. The golden light on top of the fist was released, as though countless demons were struggling and roaring, and surged towards Chen Shang. Devil-subduing method. Chen Zhang's entire body was releasing a kind of crystal-clear energy, which was as clear as water. The white dragon power on his fist merged with the transparent energy. It looked as though the dragon power was covered with a pure liquid. Seeing that transparent energy, Wang Shengren was shocked, and Chen Zhang's fist had already collided with his fist. Everyone hurriedly prepared to defend against the shockwave, but nothing happened. It was beyond their expectations, and it did not make sense. You, Wang Shengren trembled, the muscles on his face twitched, showing that he was extremely angry. He saw the arm he had punched just now suddenly droop, as if it had no bones and had suddenly become soft. Bone-melting magic palm. Chen Shang used this devil art once again, and melted away the bones in Wang Shengren's arm. Chapter 674. Wang Shengren was truly worthy of his title as the godchild. Being valued highly by the heaven realm, Chen Shang already had a surge of power rampaging through his body. If not for him relying on the Taiji dragon suppressed Kung Fu to deal with the berserk power that was entering his body, he would have exploded on the spot. This sort of insignificant skill cannot scare me. Wang Shengren waved his other hand, and was about to attack Chen Shang, but at this time, a few elders suddenly appeared. They stood behind Wang Shengren, and were extremely aggressive. With just one look at their clothes, it was obvious that they were devil-subduing college's elders. Chen Zhang's old friend Zuo Junxuan also felt that he did not have much power in the devil-subduing college, but because he was strong, he could intimidate these elders. Not long after, Chen Shang saw his familiar face. Man Futian, the new principal, had also come. He tried his best to distance himself from Chen Shang, because he knew that Chen Shang was not someone to be trifled with. The people standing behind Wang Shengren were all experts that had endured the 7th and 8th tribulations of the Nirvana stage, but Chen Shang was not afraid at all. Although his strength was far from theirs, these people did not dare to rashly act against Chen Shang, because it was a matter of the younger generation. What is it? You need help now, Chen Shang sneered. The spectators ran as far as they could as soon as they saw the old man from devil-subduing college. If these old fellows from the Nirvana stage were to fight, the consequences would be unimaginable. The crowd found it hard to understand why Chen Shang, who was not even at Nirvana stage, would have such confidence when facing this group of old fellows. Any one of these old fellows could kill him with a wave of their hand. Chen Shang, you need to know that this city is protected by our devil-subduing college. Not only did you destroy the Shaoyun Martial Club here, you even killed the elite student of our devil-subduing college. One of the clan elders pointed at Chen Shang and bellowed. It's not like you guys don't know the grudge between me and Liao Shaoyun. I came to find him for revenge. It's normal for something like this to happen. This city received your protection, but why would my friend be injured by Liao Shaoyun here and have one of his arms destroyed? Chen Shang looked coldly at the old man, and said loudly, "Moreover, this is the territory of our mortal martial realm, and your devil-subduing college is only from the outside. And just now, someone said that this godchild used his strength to do many shady things. Don't slander me," Wang Shengren immediately shouted. Chen Shang laughed coldly. "I have just learned a mysterious technique called the Heart Demon Oath, which is similar to a blood contract. As long as you swear an oath with your heart, saying that you have never done those shameful things and did not find the Heart Demon Oath and died back at you, then you will be spitting blood on me. Do you dare to come?" Chen Shang asked. "Nonsense, I am an honest man, I have never done anything before, there is no need for these evil arts to prove that." Wang Shengren did not admit it even if he died, this was also within Chen Zhang's expectations. Chen Shang looked at the expressions of the few clan elders. He could feel that these elders did not know of the shameful things that Wang Shengren did, but when Wang Shengren had made the mental vow, these elders had a strange expression on their faces. Wang Shengren had also realized this, then he had never heard of inner demon oath in the heaven realm, he had suspected that Chen Shang had deliberately made it up to scare him, but he was worried that it was real. When he swore the heart demon oath, he might even die because of it. "You keep slandering me again and again, I definitely won't let you off today." Wang Shengren was suddenly enraged, her handsome face was filled with anger, her entire body releasing a burst of oppressive aura, looking somewhat like a god of death. Chen Shang clenched his fist, he was already prepared to fight, and Wang Shengren had also realized that he could not use one arm, so his strength would definitely be greatly reduced. Furthermore, the anti-demon martial arts tournament was about to begin soon, and at that time, he would need to display his skills in the tournament to make himself famous, and then use the resources held by the devil-subduing college, to become the person with the greatest authority in the mortal Kung Fu realm. Originally, Wang Shengren wanted to become famous after defeating Chen Shang, but the way he saw it now, Chen Zhang's strength had far surpassed his expectations. In order for him to obtain the first place in the martial arts tournament, he definitely could not let Chen Shang participate in it, and the best way would be to kill Chen Shang. "Four great elders, seize Chen Shang!" Wang Shengren shouted coldly, his eyes filled with pride. Chen Shang couldn't help but sigh in disappointment. This godchild had truly disappointed him, to actually do such a thing that showed off his weakness and lowered his own worth. Just as the four elders were about to make a move, a burst of loud laughter came from afar. "The godchild is only mediocre. How can he submit to others?" After that, an extraordinarily handsome youth flew over from afar. When Chen Shang heard the voice, he immediately knew that it was Ji Dongchen, who had already sensed that Ji Dongchen was nearby, thus Chen Shang was fearless. The moment Ji Dongchen appeared, he patted Chen Zhang's shoulders and laughed. "Good job, junior martial uncle. I haven't seen you for more than a month, but you can actually get your hands on a relive Dan. How much of this do you have left?" Hearing Ji Dongchen's question, Wang Shengren's face turned extremely ugly, because his head was now at the tip of the relive Dan, and it was causing many rankers to be restless. They often wandered around devil-subduing college, making him feel threatened like never before. Thinking about how so many people had come for the sake of just one relive Dan and want his, a godchild's, head, Wang Shengren's heart was filled with rage. His head was actually only worth one relive Dan. But he had to admit, the relive Dan here had indeed made many strong warriors take action. If Chen Shang had more pills, he would definitely be in danger. Chen Shang laughed. "There aren't many, but it's enough to buy the heads of 4 people." When he spoke, he looked towards the 4 elders. Relive Dans were the divine medicine used to cultivate Nirvana Doom, so the amount of herbs needed to be refined was very low in the mortal martial realm, and even with the herbs, there would have to be someone capable of refining them. Alchemists who knew how to refine Relive Dan were not many in the mortal martial realm, but the most famous were the Dan Fragrance Pure Lands Hua Shangyu and the Super Martial School's Elder Dan. However, these 2 alchemists seemed to have a very good relationship with Chen Shang. Otherwise, it would be impossible for Chen Shang to squander so many Relive Dan in his hands. "Let's go, Super Martial School. Don't forget yourselves, there will be a day when you will be trampled by us." Now, he was not afraid of exposing his ambition. As long as it was a powerhouse above mortal martial realm, they would be able to guess the purpose of devil-subduing college and fire divine palace coming to mortal martial realm. Chapter 675. Ji Dongchen brought Chen Shang to another city. Yun Xiaodao and the others were also there, and when they saw that Chen Shang had returned, they heaved a sigh of relief. At that time, not only would the warriors spar with each other, they would also gather together to discuss the memories of how they would resist the demons. That was why Ji Dongchen was here. Inside the residence rented by Ji Dongchen, Chen Shang and the others were sitting in a hall, talking about what had happened today. Leader, what kind of shameful things did Wang Shengren do? How many years has he been capturing? Yun Xiaodao asked, and they all came from remote continents. Chen Shang said. Furthermore, he was hiding it from the rest of the old guys in the devil subduing college. Seems like he has captured quite a few of them and specifically made Liao Xiaoyun and the others do things for him. Ji Dongchen's face sank as he said, there are also hundreds of youths mysteriously disappearing in the super martial city, and the majority of them are still in remote mountains. If we find out that it was Wang Shengren who did it, we won't spare him. This fellow's ambition is really great, he actually wants to unify mortal martial realm. Right now, even Fire Divine Palace thinks that it won't be that easy. XP Weilong laughed coldly, it seems like Fire Divine Palace's hallmaster has changed. I wonder what will happen next. Ji Dongchen said, the three of you, go back to Super Martial School. If one of you participates in smashing that Shaoyun Martial Club, Devil Subduing College will definitely not let you off. Xiao Chou stuck out his tongue. He really wanted to see how his master defeated Wang Shengren, but they could not disobey Ji Dongchen. In order to ensure their safety, Ji Dongchen sent them into the transmission array. In the morning, when Ji Dongchen came out of his room in a hurry with his disguise, he asked, where are you going? It's best that you be a bit more careful. You have already completely offended the Devil Subduing College, even though they don't dare to openly cause trouble for you, for fear that they might have secretly attacked you. Quote. Chen Shang curled his lips and said, I must attend the demon subduing tournament. I wonder if this Wang Shengren will stop me from registering. Young senior uncle, that whatever white dragon blood Dan is useless to you, right? Is there a need to take such a risk? Ji Dongchen sighed and asked. What a great use. You'll know in the future. I'm leaving. Chen Shang left from the back door, and after confirming that no one was following them, he walked towards the Devil Subduing College. Was very familiar with this Devil Subduing College. He stood on the high wall outside and looked at a very tall stone tower. After a while, he left and went to a nearby hotel, as if he was waiting for someone. Just now, Chen Shang was outside the Devil Subduing College sending a message to Zuo Junxuan, who replied him, asking him to wait here. Although he was the principal of Devil Subduing College, Chen Shang still trusted him a lot. Chen Shang could be said to be Zuo Junxuan's benefactor, so of course Zuo Junxuan would not sell Chen Shang out. Kid, the trouble you're causing this time is really big. Wang Shengren has already sent the news to Heaven Realm. I think it won't be long before Heaven Realm sends more people over. Zuo Junxuan's face was extremely serious and worried. Heaven Realm's devil-suppressing divine palace is very powerful and they value the divine child a lot, so they did not hesitate to use up a lot of resources to open that large-scale transmission array and transfer their people over. The people who were sent down were obviously from the Nirvana stage, and there were a lot of them there. Chen Shang finally understood why Zuo Junxuan was so worried. Elder Zuo, is that Wang Shengren not allowing me to register to participate in the demon subduing martial arts competition? Chen Shang asked. Zuo Junxuan nodded. That's for sure, his strength is already a threat to him, he definitely cannot be defeated by you at that time. Chen Shang sneered, then lowered his voice. Help me send a message to him. If he registers for me, and obtains first place in the Devil Slayer martial arts competitions, I will tell him about the matters concerning the Sacred Dan Realm. Hearing the two words, Sacred Dan Realm, Zuo Junxuan trembled because the higher-ups of the Devil Subduing College knew that the godchildren were currently looking for a way to go to the Sacred Dan Realm. That day, I won against Fan Yakan, who came from the Sacred Dan Realm, and moreover, became friends with Fan Yakan. Tell him all this, and he definitely needs me to sign up for the competition. Hee, Chen Shang said with complete confidence, only I know where Fan Yakan is, and he also knows how to return to Sacred Dan Realm. If Wang Shengren doesn't want to miss this chance, he knows what he should do. Back then, Zuo Junxuan was the one who told Chen Shang that he was looking for the devil-suppressing blood, and the devil-suppressing blood was right inside the Sacred Dan Realm. If Wang Shengren knew about this, he would definitely agree to Chen Zhang's conditions, because it would allow him to inherit the devil-suppressing Heavenly Venerable's bloodline. But now, no matter how Wang Shengren searched, he could never find the devil-suppressing blood, because it had already been obtained by Chen Shang. Alright, I'll help you pass the message to him. When you register, try to find me when it's almost time to end. Zhuo Junxuan said. After Chen Shang and Zhuo Junxuan left the hotel, each of them left. Chen Shang, on the other hand, stepped into a forest and used a spatial gate to teleport him to the Chen Martial continent. I wonder if elder sister Munger and the rest have obtained anything from their cultivation. Chen Shang was now in the forest outside of Fragrance City. A month ago, he gave Lu Munger and Hua Shangyu some bewitchment, and most of it were bewitching skills used in Devil Subduing College. Chen Shang walked over and asked, "Little naughty dragon, is it very difficult to obtain white dragon blood, Dan?" Of course, there aren't many white dragons. It is said that if you consume too many dragon bloodlines, you will be able to obtain the dragon bloodline. To that god's rod, it is also a very precious item. Long Shui said. After Chen Shang entered the Dan Fragrance Pure Land, he did not find Lu Munger and the others because they were not here. Young Master Shen, are you looking for the leader as well? Mrs. Li saw a disappointed look on his face as he was strolling around Dan Fragrance Pure Land. He sighed and said, "Sigh, leader has not come back yet. I was looking for him too." Chen Shang was already very familiar with Mrs. Li, so he asked, "What important matter do you need to find her for?" Mrs. Li nodded his head. Over 10 days ago, a group of people suddenly came to Dan Fragrance Pagoda. It seems like they are here to intentionally cause trouble, but they did it in an excessive manner. They were just mocking us for not having some better pills, or the alchemist, and the pills they buy are mostly fire type, so they are extremely rare. We can sell some to them, but we need to keep some for ourselves. Who are these people? I might be able to help you deal with it and take me to meet them. Chen Shang was suddenly very curious. Chapter 676. I don't know where they came from, but there's a young man from Nirvana stage among them. They have been wanting to see leader all this while, but right now, I don't know where he has gone to, so I told them the truth, but they said that the leader looked down on them, and wasn't willing to see him. Sigh. Mrs. Li was very helpless. Chen Shang smiled and said, "I am the Dan Fragrance Pure Land's honorary alchemist, let me give it a try." Mrs. Li naturally knew that the relationship between Chen Shang and herself was very good. She could only look at Chen Shang now. They do not have any hostility towards us, but they are somewhat dissatisfied with Dan Fragrance Pure Land. Young Master Shen, please wait a while and do not have any conflicts with them. Over the past few days, they have bought quite a few medicinal pellets, which can be considered our big customer, but they are a bit difficult to deal with. The Mrs. Li naturally knew about Chen Zhang's actions and style, which was why she kept warning him. On the 5th floor of the Dan Fragrance Pagoda, several young men dressed in luxurious clothing were sitting in a hall. When they saw the Mrs. Li arrive, they hurriedly stood up and appeared to be very courteous. However, when they did not see Hua Shangyu, their faces could not help but reveal expressions of disappointment and anger. I really don't know where our leader has gone to. She must be in seclusion, I hope everyone understands. The Mrs. Li hastily said. Forget it, just treat it as us coming here for nothing. A man with average looks, yet with the demeanor of a king said. Chen Shang could tell with a glance that he was an expert from the Nirvana stage. However, our Dan Fragrance Pure Land's first honorary alchemist has come. He is also here to look for us, it's just that the leader is not here. Mrs. Li looked at Chen Shang and said. In order to not attract attention, Chen Shang had stealthily released a bit of qi, allowing others to see that he was a 100 refining realm warrior, but when the 5 of them saw Chen Shang, they all had faces of disdain. The man from the Nirvana stage said gently, forget it, I won't bother you guys anymore. To be honest, we are here to find your leader, I think only she is worthy to talk to us. Those who frequent the mortal martial realm knew that the Dan Fragrance Pure Land's first honorary alchemist was Chen Shang, and Chen Zhang's alchemy skills were famous throughout the mortal martial realm. Although he was not a high-ranking alchemist yet, many people still thought highly of him. However, these people seemed to have never heard of this matter, so Chen Shang guessed that they were people that rarely walked out, or that they came from another world. I heard from the Mrs. Li that you all need a large amount of fire-type medicinal pills, right? Chen Shang asked. He did not lack these kind of pellets, he wanted a lot of the profound Yang Fire Dan's refining ingredients. Not bad, but your Dan Fragrance Pure Land has disappointed us greatly. The man said. Chen Shang laughed. Relax, I definitely won't let you all down. I'm just worried that you guys might not have enough spars to buy the fire-type pellets that I have. HMPH, what kind of good pills do you have? Although we are lacking fire-type pills, we are still an alchemist, don't think that we can be fooled as we please. The man was slightly angry, because Chen Shang actually thought that they couldn't afford the pills. Chen Shang was now certain that these people came from another world and were definitely lacking in fire-attributed medicinal ingredients. They were alchemists, so in order to improve, they naturally had to leave that world to find them. What do you think this is worth? Chen Shang took out a burning lotus seed. This was the fire dragon blood lotus seed that he had won back then, and like the white jade lotus seed, it was a high-grade ground-level medicinal ingredient. However, its use was not as good as the white jade lotus seeds, because the white jade lotus seed could heal injuries. As long as it was an ordinary world, the high-grade medicines in the ground level were extremely rare, especially for those worlds that lacked fire attribute medicines. These fire dragon blood lotus seeds were incomparably precious. Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu had once said that some worlds were worlds with uneven elements, or those that favored water and fire. That was why there were some medicinal ingredients that were lacking. As expected, when Chen Shang took out the fire dragon blood lotus seed, the 5 people's eyes were completely glued to it. This could be said to be the best fire attribute medicinal ingredient that they had ever seen. Blood lotus seed of the fire dragon, how could you have such a thing? The man took a deep breath and stared at the fiery red lotus seeds held in Chen Zhang's fingers. Chen Shang laughed. Good eye, but this thing is also very valuable here, it will not be sold casually, it will usually be sold by auction. Of course, I do not lack spar, so I will not sell such precious things, you all should understand that. The man nodded his head, that's right. If it were us, we wouldn't sell it so easily. However, we really need this kind of medicine right now. In that case, how about we sit down and talk now? Chen Shang laughed. The Mrs. Li heaved a sigh of relief and quickly poured tea for Chen Shang and the 5 other people. My name is Chen Shang. I think you all aren't from mortal martial realm, right? Chen Shang said. The others did not say a word, but only the man from Nirvana stage replied. My name is Tai Ming, I did not expect you to be so young, but your ability is not bad, you are the first one to see that we are not from this world. Just as Mrs. Li had said, these people had no ill intentions. Chen Shang said, I don't have many fire dragon blood lotus seeds. If you guys want them, then exchange them with me using items of the same value. If we cooperate happily, I also have some finished products of the fire attribute in my hands, which I can exchange with you guys. Chen Shang was not lacking in spar now, he just wanted to collect a few rare medicinal ingredients and duplicate them in large quantities. Once he knew a lot of rare pills, what would he want then? Tai Ming frowned as he thought about it. This kind of trade was also very common, he was only thinking of what he could use to exchange for it. Do you know what this is? Tai Ming took out a fist-sized, transparent pearl that flickered with a hint of purple lightning. After Su Meiyao saw it, he immediately said, Leihan fruit, this thing is a strange fruit, it can grow a thunder soul, but it will take a very long time, but your creation divine liquid can solve this problem. Su Meiyao's voice became very excited. Try to trade for this as much as possible. You must know that Thunder Soul are rarer than Fire Soul. Chen Shang was shocked in his heart. There was actually such a heaven-opposing tree that could grow Thunder Soul. Leihan fruit, you want to exchange for it with this? Chen Zhang's expression did not change as he said indifferently. This is a completely mature purple Leihan fruit, we used a Thunder Soul to exchange for it. If you don't agree, then forget it. Tai Ming said. His heart was nervous, because this was the most precious thing in their hands. They were alchemists, and fusing with the fire soul would only affect their flames and cause them to become unstable. Therefore, they would definitely not fuse them. Since everyone has come from afar, I do not wish to disappoint you. Let's exchange then. Chen Shang walked forward and handed the fire dragon blood lotus seed over. To be able to exchange the fire dragon blood lotus seed for a Leihan fruit, he had profited greatly. Chapter 677. Originally, Chen Shang had planned to continue the trade with this group of people because he had obtained the Leihan fruit with a fire dragon blood lotus seed and tasted the sweetness. However, after Tai Ming received the blood lotus seed, he hurriedly left, making Chen Shang feel that it was a great pity. Before Tai Ming left, he said that he would return, but he did not know when. Lu Munger and Hua Shangyu both had to prepare to cross Nirvana Doom, so it was normal for them to not be able to be found. Chen Shang just felt that it was a little disappointing not to see these two beauties. Continent of the King, Devil Subduing College. Chen Shang stood outside the wall and used his consciousness to communicate with Zuo Junquan, who was inside. As he expected, the godchild was extremely concerned about the devil suppressing blood inside the sacred Dan realm. Chen Shang. Just as Chen Shang arrived at the place where the devil subduing college was registering it, he heard a sweet voice come from behind him. He turned his head to look, and saw a sweet girl wearing a blue dress standing there, looking at him mischievously. It was the Blue Blood Race's Lan Lan. Hee hee, right now, you're like a street rat, scared to death. You have to dress up like this even if you want to announce your name. Lan Lan laughed as she skipped to the front of Chen Shang and made a face at him. This time I definitely have to beat you, just you wait. Although she looked like a cute little beauty, she was actually hundreds of years old. Aside from her attractive face and the big rabbit on her chest, many male animals couldn't help but stare at her. Little girl, you won't be able to beat me in this life. If you're on the bed, you might have a chance. Long Shui imitated Chen Zhang's voice, and laughed in an extremely evil tone. After Lan Lan heard it, her body trembled and she suddenly turned her head. She did not get angry, but her face was puffed up and she scolded, "Scoundrel, you deserve to be wanted." Seeing Lan Lan twisting her butt and going to register, Chen Shang scolded Long Shui in a low voice, "Little naughty dragon, you're jealous of Lan Lan, even though her chest is not as big as yours." Long Shui scoffed, "No matter how big her chest is, I won't let you touch her, but can I?" Really? Long Shui's beautiful chest suddenly appeared in his mind. "You wish." Long Shui chuckled. "If you want to touch me, you have to beat me no matter what." Chen Shang curled his lips and also walked into the residence. Although the registration was about to close, there were still many people who came. After entering, Chen Shang found another familiar lady, but the lady did not recognize him. Little cat demon's body is getting better and better. Long Shui imitated Chen Zhang's voice and shouted loudly. His tone was extremely light and light, sounding just like those hooligans who would take liberties with women on the streets. There were many people in the house, but after hearing the voice, they all anxiously turned their heads to look at Chen Shang, who was now a middle-aged uncle, and all of them revealed looks of disdain towards him. Chen Shang was extremely innocent, because he didn't say anything. Long Shui had only teased him on purpose, but anything he said now was of no use. "Who are you?" A tall girl wearing a red dress with a charming appearance came in front of Chen Shang. "This bad guy is Chen Shang. His head is very precious, everyone hurry up and attack." Lan Lan laughed. Chen Shang was in existence who was like a fiend right now. Although there were people who wanted to take his head, they were not many, and many of them kept their distance. "Miss Yan, long time no see. I didn't expect your strength to improve so quickly." Chen Shang laughed. This woman was the Beast Martial School's #1 beauty. Yan Yanran had been beaten up by Chen Shang ruthlessly, but she was not injured much. At that time, she had left a cat-like paw print on Chen Zhang's palm, so Long Shui had called her little cat demon. "Of course, I will always remember you as well. This is the first time you have used such a barbaric method to beat me up." After speaking, Yan Yanran's voice revealed a hidden bitterness, blaming Chen Shang for not knowing how to show mercy to the fairer sex. Chen Shang laughed. "It's not like we're fighting on the bed, of course there's no need for you to be so gentle." Lan Lan and Yan Yanran were both girls blessed by the heavens who had been defeated by Chen Shang, and regarding Chen Zhang's strength, their memories were still fresh in them. Furthermore, their attacks were extremely ruthless, and even though they said that they would defeat Chen Shang, they did not want to face Chen Shang at all. "You are Chen Shang, he really is a disreputable guy. To be able to utter such vulgar words to such a beautiful person." Chen Shang turned around and saw a man dressed in fiery red gorgeous clothes standing at the door. This man looked very elegant and had a very handsome appearance. "I wonder if Miss would like to have a meal with me?" the man said. "I don't have time." Yan Yanran threw him an apologetic smile. Chen Shang curled his lips and said, "He's someone from the Fire Divine Palace, you really aren't giving him any face, right? Of course, this kind of guy is originally shameless and specializes in robbing others' fire soul, and he even says that it's a righteous act. What face do they have left?" The man was dressed in the Fire Divine Palace, and from the fire chi on his body, he must be someone who possessed a fire soul. Chen Shang had never heard of him before, so he guessed that the man must have come from the heaven realm. "Chen Shang, do you believe that I will take your head off right now and exchange it for some bounty?" The man was immediately enraged. He took off his robe, and from the looks of it, he was planning to fight Chen Shang to the death. "I believe you, then what?" Chen Shang was not one bit afraid of this guy. It was not like he had never killed anyone from the Fire Divine Palace before, and he had even killed quite a few of them, and they were all important people. You guys quiet down for a bit. Don't affect the registration of others. If you continue making trouble, I'll throw you guys out. An old man shouted coldly and released a wave of pressure. Chen Shang, you are slandering our Fire Divine Palace. I, Ling Chong, am a member of the Fire Divine Palace, so I will definitely not let you off. The man put down the harsh words and walked over to register. Chen Shang was looking at his back, estimating his fire soul. One must know that Chen Shang had grasped the method to extract fire soul. In his eyes, Ling Chong was a huge fortune, just that this man called Ling Chong did not know that he was treated like a big piece of meat. After the registration was completed, Chen Shang left in a hurry under the gazes of many. He silently cursed Lan Lan and Long Shuiyi, the two brainless brats, and made himself the target of others. Chapter 678. After Chen Shang left the devil-subduing college, what he found unexpected was that Lan Lan and Yan Yanren actually followed behind him. Although the method they used to follow him was brilliant, they were still discovered by Long Shuiyi's powerful divine sense. Did you see that? Hurry up and thank this dragon, and let you obtain the favor of these two beauties. That little cat demon did not even put the Fire Divine Palace's people in her eyes, but she still secretly followed you. This is all my credit. Long Shuiyi said proudly. Don't be so smug. Perhaps they have their eyes on my head. Even if they have their eyes on me, that is still my personal charm. What does it have to do with you, a troublemaker? Chen Shang increased his pace, and traveled back and forth the streets. However, he was still unable to shake off Lan Lan and his pursuers. In the end, he arrived at the entrance of Ji Yudongshan's residence and sat there. He knew that these two women would not follow him just because they had their eyes on him. You've followed me for so long, what do you have to say for yourself? Chen Shang locked onto them and transmitted sound. Lan Lan and Yan Yanren immediately appeared and walked over. What surprised Chen Shang was that Lan Lan and Yan Yanren actually knew each other. Although they came from two different directions, they did not look at each other with surprise. We're fine, we're just worried that your head will be chopped off. Lan Lan stuck out his tongue and laughed. Yan Yanren smiled gently. Is it convenient to talk here? The door suddenly opened, revealing Ji Yudongshan in front of Yan Yanren and Lan Lan, scaring the little beauty who recognized Ji Yudongshan, the #1 tycoon in Super Martial School. It's convenient to speak, come in. Ji Yudongshan couldn't help but pout his lips when he saw Chen Shang hooking up with these two beauties. Inside the hall, Lan Lan and Yan Yanren bowed to Ji Yudongshan very politely. However, it was Chen Shang who knocked his legs and asked, You followed me for so long, it can't be that you want to protect me, right? Of course not. Lan Lan's voice was loud just now, but he immediately realized that Ji Yudongshan was here. If it's inconvenient, then I'll just avoid it. Ancient leader, please wait. This matter can be said to have something to do with you. Yan Yanren anxiously said. Ji Yudongshan and Chen Shang were both shocked as Ji Yudongshan also sat down at the same time. Yan Yanren said with a stern face, You may not know this, but many of us sects have secretly teamed up and signed agreements that they are not enemies, and they have even helped each other. Only the core members of the forces will know about this, and we will also frequently meet and train. Lan Lan nodded his head. Mainly speaking, two forces of the continent of the king are leading the alliance. One is our Azure Blood clan, and the other is the Wu clan Manor. Every one of them knew of their true strength. And now, they had secretly formed an alliance with some sects, and the agreement they had was also very good. It could be seen that they were planning something. Yan Yanren continued, but the Super Martial School is within the Chen Martial continent, and has made enemies with many sects. And because of Chen Shang, in the future, he will definitely provoke many powers. Wait, this is someone provoking me first. Chen Shang interrupted her. Ji Yudongshan said, I understand this point. Our Super Martial School is very strong as a whole, so naturally we are not afraid of the Fire Divine Palace and Fire Divine Palace harming us, but those small forces might not be able to do it. If the Wu and Blue Blood race did not make the first move, those small forces would probably surrender to the Fire Divine Palace and the Devil Subduing College. Lan Lan and Yan Yanren nodded. Qin Zejin, this guy, together with a group of important elders from the Sacred Light religious sect, have disappeared for a long time, and the situation has not changed. The East Sea has already turned into a piece of loose sand, but from the looks of it, most of their forces have already secretly allied with you guys. Ji Yu Dongchen seemed to have known about this already. Lan Lan nodded his head. My blue blood race and the Wu family do not have the heart to dominate them, we do so to ensure that our mortal martial realm is not swallowed by any other power, and now that we are in a difficult situation, as the mortal martial realm is one of the more powerful families, we have to take care of those small powers. The current Lan Lan had a whole new level of respect for him. He said, in the Chen martial continent, is it possible that only a super martial school do not join your alliance? There are no divine weapons heavenly country S, Dan Fragrance Pure Land S, Lotus Island S, or Super Martial School S. As for the rest, including the demonic sects, they have already allied themselves with us. Yan Yanren said. Then why did you come to find us? Ji Yu Dongchen laughed. Even if the 4 strongest sects in the Chen martial continent didn't need to ally with each other, they would still help each other, because they had a good relationship with each other over the years, so the strength of the Chen martial continent was also very strong in the mortal martial realm. Yan Yanren sighed. Super Martial School has mastered the most powerful martial arts, and has a very deep foundation in martial arts. Dan Fragrance Pure Land has mastered pills, Divine Weapons Heavenly Country has grasped weapons, Lotus Island has grasped a large amount of spar and rare ores. It can be said that if the 4 of you were to join hands, you would definitely become a strong force in mortal martial realm, and what you have grasped is also something our alliance lacks. Lan Lan said in a low voice, the 2 strongest female alchemists are both at your place. Furthermore, you can give any relive Dan you like. After saying that, she shot a glance at Chen Shang, because everyone knew that Chen Shang was the one who used a relive Dan to place a bounty on that godchild's head. In the mortal martial realm, even the Hidden Alliance would not dare to do such a thing, so they could not do such a thing. Ji Yu Dongchen laughed. So, you want to rope us into your alliance, or do you want us to give you some resources? It is naturally for the best to have you all join us. However, we are afraid that you all might be powerful and unwilling to protect those small powers. Lan Lan sighed. Ji Yu Dongchen said seriously, if our super martial school were to join, I'm afraid that it would implicate you all. You all are seeking for peace, and if others did not offend you, you all would not retaliate, right? Lan Lan and Yan Yanren both nodded. Yes, but our super martial school is different. Forces like the Fire Divine Palace and the Devil Subduing College, as long as they make the slightest of movements, we the Super Martial School will not hesitate to destroy them. Ji Yu Dongchen's voice turned incomparably stern. Recently, we have been investigating the disappearance of a large number of young men. This might very well be related to the godchild of the Devil Subduing College. Also, the Fire Divine Palace's cultivate fire as their leader. They will not hesitate to plunder resources that are useful to their cultivation. Sooner or later, we will kill this kind of guy. Then it looks like we won't be able to ally with you. Lan Lan sighed. Hee, the alliance is hopeless now, but you can do business here. Aren't you just pills and weapons? I will have the people from the Divine Weapons Heavenly Country and the Dan Fragrance Pure Land go and talk to you guys. Chen Shang laughed. Of course, I also have some pills with me. If you guys can afford it, I can sell it to you guys too. Ji Yu Dongchen shook his head. If you agree to publicize the alliance, my super martial school will agree to an alliance. I don't want to do things sneakily, and only if I let my Fire Divine Palace and my master know about this, will they be afraid of us and not dare to do such a thing. Chapter 679. There were many different continents, and many different forces. It was very difficult to gather all of them, and no one was willing to submit to anyone, but now that the Great War between 3 realms was about to begin, many small powers had agreed to temporarily form an alliance and rely on the protection of the large powers to tide through this difficult situation, so it was an opportunity. It was just that as a leader, Ji Yu Dongchen had other concerns, but now he could see that this alliance was very weak, because they were all small powers that did things in fear and trepidation. If they could have a large power like the Super Martial School, or the Dan Fragrance Pure Land, then the other mid-ranked powers would all join as well. Go back and tell those old fellows, if there's anything you want to discuss, talk to us. I guarantee that if our Super Martial School joins your alliance, both Dan Fragrance Pure Land and Dan Fragrance Pure Land will join as well. Ji Yu Dongchen said. Lan Lan and Yan Yanren nodded. They could not make the decision for this kind of thing, they could only return and report. After they left, Chen Shang laughed. A lad, how can you be so confident that you can make Divine Weapons Heavenly Country and Dan Fragrance Pure Land join us? Ji Yu Dongchen smiled ambiguously. Junior Martial Uncle, don't tell me you want me to tell you what happened. You've taken care of these 2 women. It should be easy for you to speak out. Quote. Don't talk about this, it will kill me. Chen Shang said seriously. Ji Yudongchen also nodded seriously. Junior Master, the devil-subduing college has recruited many outstanding disciples. After they entered, they were all kept by the devil-subduing college, and many disciples of our super martial school have gone in, and have never returned. Even if they come back, they would be displeased with our fellow disciples. Didn't you just learn a few anti-demon martial arts from the devil-subduing college? What was there to be proud of? I learned devil-subduing method at the 10th level. Chen Shang sneered. Don't think that everyone is like you, or that the might of the devil-subduing method is very enticing, but outsiders have a hard time learning it, so they keep on running towards the devil-subduing college. Ji Yudongchen sighed. There are many old fellows in my super martial school who are now obsessed with this devil-subduing method. Chen Shang touched his chin, considering whether he should announce the method to quickly learn devil-subduing method. At that time the devil-subduing college would not be so attractive. Oh right, a lad, I have a way to solve this problem, but you have to look for my master. Chen Shang patted his shoulder, and laughed. I have learned devil-subduing method from master. He said that he can find simpler cultivation methods based on the Taiji dragon suppressed Kung Fu. Hearing that he was going to look for Huang Jintian, Ji Yudongchen's face suddenly turned bitter. Junior martial uncle, your bones are rather cheap, you should go. Ji Yudongchen laughed bitterly. This old lunatic has learned quite a bit, but every time he goes there, he uses this devil-subduing method on me. Chen Shang looked at him in disdain, and could only look for Huang Jintian himself. Inside the super martial profound realm, Huang Jintian saw Chen Shang and excitedly grabbed his shoulders. When he saw that Huang Jintian was about to attack, Chen Shang anxiously shouted, Master, stop messing around, I have something important to do. If you beat me up, you will definitely regret it. What's the hurry? Who told you to grow your skills so fast like grass? I'll test you first. Huang Jintian said while smiling, a wave of energy condensed in his palm. Master, I made a trip to Sacred Dan Realm. After hearing what Chen Shang said, Huang Jintian stopped. His face became serious as he said, don't lie to me. I won't lie to you. I've already gained quite a bit from that place. Chen Shang said while grinning. After Huang Jintian put him down, he began to listen to what Chen Shang had to say about the things above, and very quickly, he believed it because he knew some things about the place. Of course, Chen Shang concealed some hair-raising things that he did not tell him, because he felt that it was difficult for Huang Jintian to believe those things. Brat, you're promising. Huang Jintian lovingly caressed Chen Zhang's head and smiled. It won't be long before you go to Heaven Realm to find your big brother. Chen Shang laughed. Master, these are devil-subduing college's demonic techniques, you can learn them if you find it boring. This was a set of powerful anti-demon martial arts. If it was an ordinary person, it would be very difficult to learn this art, but Huang Jintian was well versed in it, so learning it wouldn't be difficult. Alright, this is the devil-subduing method that I modified. You take it and let a lad and the others learn it. If they want to learn it themselves, I wonder how long it will take for them to learn it. Huang Jintian handed over a thick book to Chen Shang. Chen Shang flipped it over and exclaimed, 10th floor. Master, you've learned level 10. Quote. Huang Jintian laughed, how long will it take? If I wasn't as fast as you, how would I be your master? However, there is still a 11th layer to it. However, it will be very difficult to piece together some of the passages from the mental cultivation method. Quote. Chen Shang nodded and told Huang Jintian about what he had learned from cultivating the 11th floor, which surprised him quite a bit. Not bad, your progress is much faster than mine. If you learn the great perfection, then your power will definitely be very strong. Hurry up and get lost, I don't want to disturb my cultivation. After Huang Jintian obtained all those things, he quickly immersed himself within them. Chen Shang heaved a sigh of relief and quickly left, going to look for Ji Yudongchen. Right now, not only the devil-subduing method had been spread out, even the devil-suppressing chi was extremely profound. Without the large amount of cultivation guidance from the devil-subduing college as well as the guidance from a few elders, it was very difficult to learn it. However, Chen Shang had the basics of devil-suppressing Kung Fu and a large amount of divine arts. These were all easy for him, but all he needed was time. Ji Yudongchen did not expect Chen Shang to return so quickly. He asked curiously, you did not go to find that crazy old man? This doesn't make sense, he actually didn't use you to practice. Quote. Chen Shang tossed a thick book to Ji Yudongchen and laughed, take this and print it a lot, Hee, Devil Subduing College is going to die from losses this time. Ji Dongchen anxiously opened the book, and upon seeing Huang Jintian's handwriting, he confirmed that it was Huang Jintian's own hand. Seeing the simple and easy-to-understand training methods, Ji Dongchen's face revealed a smile. This old madman is truly worthy of being an old madman. These devil-subduing college fellows are going to cry now. Ji Dongchen laughed. Chen Shang said, Devil-subduing college isn't just that the godchild is more difficult to deal with, right? Ji Dongchen's smile disappeared and he kept the book properly. Zuo Junxuan and Man Futian, these two principles are powerful, but they are not ambitious. The godchild's talent is indeed not bad, but his strength is still limited. I feel that there is an even more powerful hand behind the godchild wanting to take over this mortal martial realm. Quote, I think he might appear at the beginning of Great War between three realms. Chapter 680. Regarding the battles between the powers, Chen Shang did not want to participate, nor was it up to him to participate. However, he could take advantage of it or plunder it while it was still hot. All he needed to do was to learn the demon-subduing arts, master the way to refine Earth-grade low-rank Dan, and prepare to compete with Elder Dan. A lad, I have already registered to participate in the demon-subduing martial arts competition. At the start, you have to watch over me. Lu Munger and Hua Shangyu are both in closed-door cultivation now, they won't be able to watch over me. Chen Shang warned repeatedly. At that time, if Ji Dongchen was here, the people from the Devil-Subduing College wouldn't dare to act recklessly, as it would allow him to display his abilities on the stage with a peace of mind. Junior Martial Uncle, do you really have a way to register? Are you using your own name? Ji Dongchen asked in surprise. Chen Shang should be hated to the bones by the godchild now, and he should be very strong too. Chen Shang laughed. Of course it's using my name. If there's no other way, then I won't be your junior master. Hee, I never thought that the blue blood race and the Wu family would arrive so quickly. Quote, after Yan Yanren and Lan Lan went back to report, those old fellows all felt that it was necessary to talk to Ji Dongchen face to face, so they rushed over as fast as they could. There were only 3 days left before the anti-demon martial arts competition started. Chen Shang was not interested in knowing what they discussed when they formed an alliance, so he went to the secret room to cultivate. Ji Dongchen's house was filled with more and more old people, most of them being the heads of some small powers, and this action had attracted the attention of Fire Divine Palace and Devil Subduing College. Fire Divine Palace and Devil Subduing College were stationed atop the continent of the king, and there were suddenly so many Nirvana stage gathered here, how could they not know? The first point was to let Fire Divine Palace and Devil Subduing College know that they had already started an alliance. If these Devil Subduing College and Fire Divine Palace dared to bully the small forces in their alliance, then they would definitely join forces to suppress these two foreign forces. Lian Yingxiao had also come, but his relationship with his daughter had always been good, so once Ji Dongchen opened his mouth, Lian Yingxiao immediately agreed. Right now, only his sister and his sister didn't express anything, it was just that the two empress of both forces were in closed-door training. Many rankers squeezed into Ji Dongchen's house to discuss about the great plan of the alliance, and from time to time, a tremble would come from below, accompanied by the faint sound of a dragon's roar, making many old fellows think that there was an imprisoned dragon below. Cough cough, it should be Chen Shang who is training below. He should be cultivating the Taiji dragon suppressed Kung Fu, and the reason why the devil subduing method can make things difficult for us is because he has done a great service. Everyone should know this. Ji Dongchen hurriedly explained. He never thought that Chen Shang would cause such a commotion while cultivating. He was very curious about what kind of martial arts Chen Shang was cultivating. Lian Yingxiao nodded and said, I had long heard that not long after he entered the Devil Subduing College, he had learned the 10th floor of the Devil Subduing method. Being able to obtain this simplified version of the Devil Subduing method now is equivalent to slashing the Devil Subduing College in the face. Hee, this simple training version of the Devil Subduing method was written by that crazy old man. Ji Dongchen laughed, causing the bodies of many old fellows to tremble. Although Huang Jintian had been imprisoned in the Forbidden Grounds for many years, the shadow he had left on the experts had always been there. The simplified version of the Devil Subduing method had already been made available to each of the Alliance's great leaders to copy and then teach it to their core disciples. It wouldn't be long before Devil Subduing College would know about this news. 3 days passed quickly and Chen Shang came out of the secret room. When he saw him, Ji Dongchen sighed, Junior Master, what martial arts did you cultivate? Make it look like there's a dragon under the house. Chen Shang laughed. This technique is called dragon subduing returning essence. I can already master it now, but if I use it now, it will consume half of my innate qi. Ji Yu Dongchen cried out in alarm. I told you that master used this move before, and it was indeed very powerful, but he said that he only mastered it when he was still in nirvana stage. I didn't think that you would be able to master it now. Let's go. Today is the first day of the Fighting Demon martial arts competition. Let's go and see what kind of powerful people are participating. Chen Shang shrugged and said. Just like this, Chen Shang brought Ji Yu Dongchen and walked towards the Devil Subduing College. Furthermore, Chen Shang didn't need to disguise himself anymore, because Ji Yu Dongchen was right behind him. As long as they weren't stupid enough to pinch the door, they wouldn't be stupid enough to go and get Chen Zhang's head in front of Super Martial School. Chen Shang could guess that the stronger participants of the Demon Subduing Martial Arts Tournament should be those from the Devil Subduing College S or those from the Fire Divine Palace S. After all, they possessed extremely rich resources and went to the Vain Martial Cultivators S from the other continents. After arriving at the Devil Subduing College, Chen Shang understood the process of the martial arts competition. From the very beginning, the preliminaries were divided into 4 groups by drawing lots, and then, through the elimination stage, each group would decide on the strongest person, and then enter the final round. It looks like I have to play a lot of matches, and it's even going on day and night. If I meet a strong guy in the group competition, it'll definitely be very difficult. Chen Shang muttered as he looked at the rules. Junior martial uncle, the feeling of being together with you isn't good at all. Other people view us as a scourge and view us from afar. Ji Yu Dongchen said in a low voice. Chen Shang looked around, and laughed. A lad, you are the leader, they are afraid of you. The aura emitted from Ji Yu Dongchen's body indeed made many people feel an inexplicable pressure and fear. There were 4 contest ring-s in Devil Subduing College. In order to make the competition more relaxed, Chen Shang had to leave this place, which made it much easier for many people. After drawing lots, Chen Shang was assigned to the 3rd group. What gave him a headache was that he was actually in the same group as Lan Lan. She was currently together with Yan Yanran. That cute little face was squeezed into a bitter melon as she pouted her lips and looked at Chen Shang with an incomparably resentful gaze. Even though she wanted to compete with Chen Shang again, it was within the group stages. Alas, poor child, I'm sorry. Chen Shang shook his head and sighed, then walked over. There were many people in the crowd who were complaining, especially those who were in the same group as Chen Shang. They all felt a lot of pressure, but there were only 4 groups. What a coincidence, Timing from Fire Divine Palace is in the 4th group, so the group will definitely be much easier to handle. It seems like the 2nd group does not have any famous experts either. Chen Shang walked towards Lan Lan as he obtained some information from the crowd.